2020 is over!
Yay! But this year is looking about the same.
Boo!
But that means a new anime season.
Yay! But many of them are sequels.
Boo!
But they're all really good returning shows.
Yay! I can't handle this emotional roller coaster anymore. Let me off! Cancel it!
Ava launch!
Tetsuo! Kaneda! It's over 9,000! NANI?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi!
Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa and shinen omedato gozaimasu. You're tuned into Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast where we dive in the world of anime and manga. I'm Kyle, and joining me are my co-hosts Farah, Kenny, and Lois.
Happy New Year!
I resemble one of those names.
You do. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
What is going?
If you insist.
Yeah, I do insist.
Or sad New Year, if you'd prefer.
Debatable New Year.
Crazy New Year.
It's a new year.
It's 2020.2. So season 2 of 2020.
1.8, the final chapter. You know?
No, this is just episode 2 in a 10-part series.
Oh no,
no,
don't say that. Alrighty, well, welcome back to another year of Kawaii-Fi Radio. We got a lot coming up this year. It's going to be a very big year for us. And firstly, we need to let you know, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be live at a convention.
What?
Yeah. Now, you might have seen talk of a convention if you are local to Perth or in Australia called Hoshicon here in WA. We're going to be performing a live on-stage event.
Why do you
It's
do
so
this to me, Kyle?
exciting.
Because I hate you. No.
No, we don't hate
okay.
you. And just before everyone gets kind of worried, Perth has had no community transmission cases of COVID for like 11 months. So our only COVID cases are people returning from another state or
And in
internationally,
quarantine.
and they're all in quarantine. So we actually pretty much have no COVID here. We're so lucky.
I mean, I still feel a little nervous on occasion.
I think
but
we would, but so Hoshicon is going to be the 5 of us. Aaron as well. He can't join us this week because he's working, but the 5 of us on stage talking about the last year of anime and then tormenting people in anime quiz.
Anime quiz.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because, it's the first time all of us are actually going to be on stage in front of an audience.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
And Kenny's starting to disintegrate in the corner. He's
all right, Kenny.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
It's just, I'm not much of a public speaker kind of guy. I'm very behind the camera.
I know, the irony of you and I actually not liking public speaking and yet being on a podcast. and
Well, you're
working in
speaking
I feel
industry.
like
the
this
public.
is different. The public is, it's microphone sized in this case.
You can't see the public.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you'd like, we can get you like a giant cardboard cutout of you, and then you can just stand behind it, and then you can't see the audience.
no.
Oh, come on.
There's
I'll be
not
your
about
friend.
time to get one sorted,
What
unfortunately.
about a Liger plushie that you can hold and it'll
I'd
comfort
love a
you?
Liger
Can I just
plushie.
have like a Liger mask?
Like a mask? No. Okay, so let's talk about actual anime instead of talking about Kenny's impending doom on stage. Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, this we did mention at the beginning of last season, and we've mentioned it a couple of times, but this is something you need to check out.
It's so
I've
good.
only seen 3 episodes, and yes, I know I must catch up.
But then you get the benefit of like watching it all at once.
I guess.
Okay, so I will be that person that will say, I haven't watched it, but the amount of clips I have seen on TikTok on
Yeah.
this show, I feel like I've seen the whole thing already.
Social
and
media loves it.
Oh, well, you know what? I will go back and watch it. I will say I have watched a bit of it. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But I'm telling you now, this is probably Crunchyroll's #1 hit for the season.
I
It's
feel
definitely, yeah.
I feel like that's actually a way of sort of gauging the popularity of
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Is just not by simply how much it's spoken about, but like how much it goes to social media, like
Yeah.
how many clips
The
there
fan
are on
reaction.
Facebook and TikTok and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Absolutely. If you haven't seen it, it's basically cooler Naruto. No, I
Naruto,
do joke.
higher rated. A lot of the characters have similar tropes, but they're all more adult.
Well, I mean, it's reverse Kakashi. on the team.
He covers his eyes instead
of his mouth.
And his eyes are so beautiful.
They are. Because you actually see them. This isn't like Kakashi's mouth where you never see it.
Yeah. You do eventually see it though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just waiting for like the next big shonen series where there's another Kakashi, but he wears like a vertically split half mask.
It's just like, you can't see the left side of my face. That's it.
And then later on, there's going to be one that's just Kakashi's upper half.
No. But look, it's definitely worth checking out. It's on Crunchyroll. It's not a Crunchyroll original, despite the amount of marketing
really?
No, the manga's really big as well. It's actually been shooting through a lot of best-selling manga lists. It's kind of, not that it's ever going to rival the craziness that is Demon Slayer in Japan at the moment, but it's probably the next biggest thing besides like One Piece and like the standard big shows. But right now in Japan, Jujutsu Kaisen is really, really big.
It's gone completely off chops, which is amazing.
It's a good show.
Now, this also brings us on to something that we have to be careful about how we talk.
Please.
And that's Attack on Titan, the final season. We're just going to ignore the cat meowing in the background.
Can you guys hear Liger?
Because-
Liger's meowing loudly. He wants to talk about Attack on Titan.
He does not want to talk about Attack on Titan. I put it on and he's scared. So Attack on Titan's final season's here. And this is the end of an era. The question is this going to end up being a timeless classic, or is this going to be like the final season
of Game of
Thrones?
Oh my goodness.
What a way to put it.
Like that's the question on everyone's mind, because I know we've gone like, if you've watched everything up until this point, you've got a very set view of how the world works.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be disrupted the moment you start watching the new season.
Yeah, I got to say, without actually being spoilerific, I'm a little ambivalent after watching like the first couple of episodes of the new season. It feels like, the other seasons have just been, going from strength to strength, making the series go faster and faster down the freeway, and then someone's just grabbed the gear shift and flipped it into reverse. It's just like, huh?
And if you're reading the manga, that's exactly what happens in the manga too.
Oh,
And-
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad to know that at least, it's following the source material. But,
Well, I mean, we've got to do what we can with what we've got.
So the reason why we're not being spoilery, one is obviously for you, dear listener, and also for me, because I haven't seen any of final season yet. So
Yeah,
But
you've
you
just-
definitely got to season 3.
yeah,
started
absolutely.
binging
Yeah,
through it now, recently.
so I was a huge Attack on Titan fan when it first came out in 2013, 2015.
Very much earlier than that, I think.
No, I feel like it was 2013 feels about right. Anyway,
12, 13 is about
quite
right,
a
yeah.
long time ago. I even
so
did a
sure.
bad cosplay of Eren Yeager. God bless.
Oh.
There you go.
And you'll never see pictures of it.
We will find the pictures.
Playing on
No.
socials.
But when I was watching season 2, like in all through season 3, like I didn't watch season 3 as it was airing because I just couldn't handle week to week. It was too stressful for me. So then I didn't watch anything until season 3 came out completely, and I've just finished rewatching the whole thing all in dub. And then I watched Chronicle as well, the recap movie, which was pretty cool. But now I kind of just want to wait for the dub to start, which is like today. So I'm going to probably watch it semi dub.
Definitely. So Attack on Titan for me is one of those where it's a cultural phenomenon because
Absolutely.
I remember going for the first ever Mad Fest in Melbourne, which was 2016, and I jumped into my car and the driver was like, "Oh, so why are you here?" I was like, "I'm here for an anime festival." He's like, "Oh, is it like that show Attack on Titan in SBS?" I was like, "Yeah."
They played
He's
on
like,
SBS.
So
Yeah.
that was one of the
Gnarly.
animes
Yeah.
that they showed at 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
I remember watching Evangelion on SBS.
Yeah.
Like that's like 20 years ago now, though.
I've got kind of a tangential question. What do you suppose it is that like separates Attack on Titan and makes it so popular, even amongst like, your average kind of casual watcher?
I mean, there's so many ways you can answer. It's such a good question.
It's a very good question.
I think we were mentioning before we were going to do like a whole Attack on Titan episode one time, but like just briefly, I'd probably say like animation quality, cool characters, really well fleshed out world, extremely good pacing.
But I mean, you can say that about, a great variety of animes, but this one seems to stick out and engage like the normie crowd.
That's true.
I think it's probably because it seems a bit different from what people are expecting.
Yeah.
And
It's not anime, inverted commas.
It came out at a time when people were looking for something big and action-packed,
So
and
true.
they weren't expecting to see that. If you have a look at the 12 months either side of Attack on Titan when it came out, there's not a lot in a similar sort of
There
shonen
wasn't.
and sign an audience target for an action series.
I wonder.
And it was one of those shows where it just felt like a scary reel, like
Absolutely, yeah.
just this big titan coming out of nowhere. But you know what? It was also that thing of like it's kind of got that German. It was actually Japanese, really. It was that German.
It's the
base.
Germanic,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of like Full
Ooh.
Metal Alchemist as
Do you
well.
suppose they are kind of the more I don't know, Europeanish setting.
I think it's what it was.
Why do you think isekai do so well?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's the Germanic fantasy setting. It's something we're familiar with in the West that is, to them it's foreign. So it becomes a great thing for them to explore, but for us it's familiar.
It becomes more fantastic.
That's why it's popular in the West a bit more. It's also just, it's so different.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will be doing a full Attack on Titan episode
so excited.
after this season, after the manga ends on April 9th.
Attack on episode on Titan, Shingeki no episode.
I like that you're thinking ahead.
Kawaii Titans.
Kawaii on Titan.
We'll have a picture of the terrifying Titans but with flower
us as
crowns.
Titans? That would be absolutely...
Well, you do realise that the creator
Yeah,
of
I
Attack
know.
on Titan said that all the Titans are just based on drunk people. So,
God, that's such a mood.
If you're listening to this and you're a fan artist, please draw us as Titans. I'd love that.
Drunken
and send it to
Titans.
us. That's perfect.
But we must move on and talk about the show ahead.
The show ahead.
So, this episode, it is a new year, as we've mentioned, and that means new anime season, as we've mentioned. But unlike previous seasons' previews, we're doing things a little different because your time is precious. And we want to respect that. So each team member has picked 2 anime. They're excited to watch this season. And if someone else has already picked it, it means you can grab something else. So want to know what we picked? Well, stay listening. We'll all be revealed very shortly. And if you are one of our regular listeners, or even if you're new to the show, consider hitting that subscribe button and join the Kawaii-Fi community. You can find us across YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, along with almost every podcast platform.
We are everywhere.
We're everywhere. And if we're not on your favourite podcast platform, let us know and we'll add it. No problems there. We'd love to be in your pocket for your next day off so we can give you some great anime news and a bit of entertainment. Still plenty to talk about this episode, so stay with us as we bring you the latest anime news.
Making headlines.
Really?
Sort of.
Anime news. Well, as we said, it's time to have a look at what's been going on in the world of anime and manga the past fortnight. Loz and Kenny are looking quite excitedly at me. So's Farah. I know why.
What's
this
going
is
on?
a big
Tell us.
one. Zombieland Saga is coming back.
What the
Hooray! And the promo image is so cool.
It's so
They look
good.
so
I mean,
cool.
so fitting that it's a zombie because there's something just coming back from the dead.
Well, I mean, it's 2021. That's what kind of happens, isn't it?
I mean, I guess, but I feel like we were expecting a different kind of zombie thing in 2020s.
Oh, who knows? Well, 2021, I should say. So Zombieland Saga Revenge is the name of the sequel project, and that will premiere on television in April 2021. So that's not this season we're about to preview, but the season after. It actually, I think it airs on the same day that Attack on Titan's manga finishes. So
Perfect.
timing. The main cast have reunited, and most of the main staff have as well, which
Wow.
is, an important thing, considering that it's only been 2 years. That's kind of expected. If it was 10 years, it'd be like, whoa. And it's again being done at Mappa and Avex Pictures. They did all the music composition
Avex,
and singing.
amazing.
They're back again to do it again. So it's going to look really good.
To
But
actually just pull every single person back, that just tells me that this was a project that people
It
actually really wanted to work on.
yeah.
More Mamoru Miyano in my ears.
Oh,
yes.
However, there is some bad news. It will stream exclusively on Amazon Prime Video, meaning the odds of a dub are slim.
Ooh.
I was just going to ask that because how are they going to pull that one? Because that's a Funimation dub.
Farah, did they have a dub last time?
They did.
Oh my goodness. So, wait, so...
To the
Sorry,
point, Loz,
wait,
they
I'm
dubbed the
confused.
music as well.
Okay, so
Wow.
Funimation, this isn't a part of Funimation anymore?
Well, this is the interesting thing because now Funimation is up under Sony, so is Crunchyroll, and that was a Crunchyroll's now under Sony as well.
Well, that sale still technically hasn't gone through.
Oh, it hasn't,
so
has
that's
it?
still got to get regulator approval.
I wonder if they're going to
But
take
they reckon
season
it will.
1 of Funimation if it's now
Surely
owned by
not.
Amazon.
If you've created a transformative part of a media as part of a license, generally no.
That's so interesting.
So it might be a case that Funimation retain the dubbed version only, and then
I see.
Amazon then take
Just take the sub version.
version.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
really kind of
Curious.
sad because
Yeah.
they did have a pretty decent dub crew with that one. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Yeah,
But
I mean it's early days. I mean, it could be a case that Amazon Prime Video have the exclusive initial rights, but considering how big of a franchise it is, just like we see with like Attack on Titan, with My Hero Academia, it might cross the barriers.
I mean, this is what happened to Free, of the swimming anime, and then it was like owned by 2 different places, and then like you couldn't buy the season 1, you could only buy season 2 onwards because
heck?
it was really wild. Anyway, now I own everything eventually. Don't worry, guys. Yes, I managed to get season 1 box set to go with my season 2.
But yeah, look, Zombieland Saga season 2, we're expecting that to land in April. So that's going to be pretty good. That brings us on to something a little bit different. This is one that I'm quite excited about. Shogi Senpai is getting an anime.
Shogi who?
Now, if you've seen Teasing Master Takagi, same guy.
Oh, cool.
So Shogi Senpai has a manga that he originally started on Twitter as just kind of like a little side project.
That's
and
cute.
then, they went, oh my God, that's amazing. And Kodansha went, we will have that. Thank you very much.
Please give us
So
your
at the
scripts.
moment, he has got 4 manga out. 4 different mangas that he's writing every month.
Oh.
And this is one of them. And this is up to, I think, about chapter 80 now. So it's...
Hell of a workload.
Yeah, and it's really sweet. It's really cute. It's basically a romantic comedy story about a shogi club where Tanaka Ayumu, he is a first-year school student and he has a crush on his senpai. But he says to himself, I'm only going to confess once I beat her in shogi.
I love that.
Except he's terrible at shogi.
Yeah, but-
and
That's
she's
so
state
beautiful.
champion level
and
at
he's going
shogi.
to try so hard. We need the board game episode, season 2.
Yeah,
This is what we need.
I'm waiting for live action. This sounds great.
How cute is
Arushi's
it?
really
Yeah.
sweet, the girl who's up, and she's basically spends all that time trying to get him to confess as well.
Oh,
So they both do like each other, and he's kind of like stone-faced, so seeing this dynamic on screen is going to be amazing.
It's kind of like Love is War, but reverse.
Yeah, basically. Whoever
Sounds-
confesses wins.
Yes.
Whoever wins confesses.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, the manga's written by Yamamoto Soichiru, and he's been doing this for quite a few years now, and most of his manga are all set on the island which he lives in the inland sea of Japan. So
that's cute.
just between Hiroshima and Osaka in that sea area there. And that's where Teasing Master Takagi is set. He's also got a...
It looks like a fantastic location just from what I saw from
beautiful.
Teasing Master.
Road trip, let's go.
Yeah.
If we can.
Oh, we can't.
Road trip. I've got a
No.
snorkel, have you?
We could swim.
We could
I
swim.
know a guy.
A shark or dolphin? What kind of guy do you know? Some
Yeah.
Poseidon that can get us to Japan?
Denizens of Margaret River.
Fair. But that does bring us to something a bit bad.
Bad.
Now,
No,
this
not bad.
this happened over this weekend. It's to do with Shueisha.
Oh.
And they have been
yes.
issuing copyright strikes to people on social media for uploading screenshots of anime series that they hold the rights
Or
for.
just any official art from what I've
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Some fan artists have also been flagged as well. Like they've accidentally kind of copyrighted someone's art that's actually just looks a lot like an official art.
Wow,
So
this definitely
awkward.
doesn't sound exactly like the YouTube automatic copyright system.
Whoopsie-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been kind of funny. You can go on Twitter and kind of a lot of people are talking about it at this point in time, but some people are like, well, if they flagged and copyrighted my fan art, that makes my fan art canon, right, guys?
So what
That's a
shows
compliment.
are being targeted? Because if they're going to target My Hero Academia and they got to get away my fan art, I'm going to be very
I
disappointed.
think I can tell you that.
I find the whole thing kind of abhorrent, really. Like, say you're on social media and you're sort of like sharing the series that you're watching, and you show like a photo of a moment that like really, really touched your heart. It's just like, man, this was super important for me to watch, and then that just gets copyrighted. It's just
Yeah, you see, I think my concern here is that they've overstepped. They've accidentally. I'm
gone too far.
suspecting they've accidentally overstepped in a panic after we've seen people, shall we say, particularly in relation to the US election, using copyrighted material in support or against certain factions. And so people will do that, and this, I think, might be a defensive overstep to protect their IP.
Yeah, and like we do understand kind of why they do it. Hey, please don't turn our stuff into memes, and also don't steal our things. But also at the same time, fan communities can make or break if a thing is popular.
Yeah.
And this is, you were asking before, Farah, what is it? This is pretty much Shueisha owns Shonen Jump and etc. So this is like all the big shonen series. So yes, that is like Dr. Stone, and that is like My Hero and stuff like that. That is One Piece and
Wonderful.
Bleach.
well,
and,
that just makes
you
it
know,
boring for me now.
And so if this actually continues and becomes a bigger thing, it could be a really big problem for anime fans that want to kind of express their love and they want to show all of their
that's bad.
things.
Well, I mean,
but-
that could be an issue for us as well. Like, you know, we
how far is
post
it gonna go?
images of the shows, the official fan art, to
Yeah.
say, hey, look, this is the show we are talking about because we're an audio podcast, and if we do a video version, you know, to provide that correlation.
Yeah.
That's a problem, because if you're trying to promote content which is being aggressively controlled, and we've seen this with Nintendo, it can cause serious problems for the actual fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, fan bases are basically free publicity. The fans
Exactly.
want to share this
I mean,
sort of
could cosplay be the next problem in the shot?
Here we go.
That's the intent. This feels like it
thing.
has.
Oh, you reckon that could actually happen?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they could, but it's that sort of overreach where it's going, something you've created is mine, where it's not.
Actually, that's a fair point, because what about, artist alleys and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that?
I feel like it is like the fan art thing is absolutely accidental, and I think like they should pull back. I mean, I don't know. This is just what I think,
See,
but what do I know? Let's
If
be
they're
honest.
making a profit of drawing someone else's art, which unfortunately
Yeah,
is Artist
yeah.
Alley,
There are ones that do.
Yeah.
then that's an issue.
Yeah, and I think that you're completely right, because obviously there are some video games, for example, that are like made by indie creators and stuff, and like, hey, please don't make stuff for my game. For example, like Hades, there are other creators who are like, hey, please don't make fan art and sell it because we are small and we need that money.
Yeah.
So please don't do that.
And look, I can
But
appreciate
these guys
that.
are so big. Shueisha owns so much.
Well, I mean, not only that, Shueisha now has Weekly Shonen Jump's digital English version.
Yeah.
Like, you have a look at their profit category over the past 3 years. It has gone through the roof.
yeah,
Like,
it's
they
really
have done
easy to
really
not
well.
steal stuff anymore.
I don't know though. It's another artist, using their talent to recreate something.
But some are so very good that they draw it to like canon, and
Which
that's
is a compliment
really,
to the artist. I feel
Yeah.
like the studio
Is?
should be celebrating that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, some do. Some do.
So
but
I
not
guess
all.
we'll see. We'll see how it
we will
goes, because
see.
this has only happened yesterday. So it's the 9th of January today.
give
So
it
only
2
really
months and see
happened
how it goes.
like
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Now, COVID update.
Dun dun.
Yay.
Yeah. So you might have heard that Japan has declared a state of emergency
so
in
upsetting.
Tokyo, meaning a lot of events are being cancelled or delayed. Now, we're not going to be getting the same state of emergency they saw last spring, which put the anime industry into basically a downward spiral and caused delays. So that's hopeful. National government's basically indicated that schools will not be subject to the additional restrictions, but prefectures have started to ask residents to refrain from non-essential outings from after 8 p.m. Means some events are being closed. There's now restrictions of gatherings can be no larger than 5,000. So that means Wonderfest 2021 winter has been cancelled. That's where all the big figurines come
I look
out.
forward to Wonderfest
Everyone
every,
does,
like
hey.
every season.
For me, that's the big time for all the Nendroids to come out as well.
Exactly. They
Like,
release all of the new figures and what they're going to look
so
like.
they are
Oh, I'm
still
so
going to
sad.
host it, but it's going to be digital only,
Okay,
so you
that's
can
fair.
watch it.
I can handle
Okay.
that.
But
can
it
handle
means
that.
all
Actually,
of
wait,
those
that's better.
It is.
but to be honest, all of those exclusive figures will
You're right.
not be available.
Because there won't be a Wonderfest
Such
winter
a shame.
2021.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
So that's February 7. The 6 Hypnosis Mic live concerts have been cancelled.
I know.
They'll now stream live online with no in-person audiences. That's good for us, but it's not so good for them on the ticket sale front.
yeah. You can
In
sell
saying
online
that, though,
tickets.
yes, because
Yeah.
Aquas have done a few online
Yeah,
lives,
absolutely.
and they
Oh, yeah.
have gone through the roof with the sales on that.
Because
so
it's
it might
easier.
even be
You
more
just do it from your
profitable.
home.
It is.
Yeah.
And international audiences can get onto it as well.
Yeah.
And which, hello, me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If this is open for international, Farah, let's do a watch set.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm happy to do
Yeah.
that too.
Now, Banana Fish Cafe and Bar.
Oh.
Now, I didn't know this was a thing, but it should be no surprise that most popular anime have a cafe now, it
Most,
seems.
most
Did know
animes
about it.
get
Guess
a
that
cafe.
That's cancelling all reservations, no longer accepting walk-ins because they need contact tracing. The Gundam factory in Yokohama also
Aye.
restricting stuff as well, and that giant walking Gundam also no access until they
No.
reorganize
Yeah.
They
everything.
should put a face mask on him. A giant face mask for the giant Gundam.
So all we do know is that they've halted advance ticket sales for this weekend, and they're waiting to see until Monday exactly what's
How long
happening.
is it for? This lock.
We don't know.
It's
Wow.
kind of all up in
It's
the air.
kind of just an instant reaction, sort of like what we've had here in Western Australia with new outbreaks in the
Yep.
eastern states. They've immediately closed the border and
Well
haven't
done.
said when.
Well done.
So, I'd rather them get it under control and sorted sooner.
Yeah, and I think like the biggest thing in terms of like how long is it going to go on for and like why are they reacting so quickly is, remember, they're supposed to host the Olympics.
Yeah, bingo.
If they are trying to contain something really quickly so they can actually host the Olympics, which, you know, this is just my opinion, but they probably will still have the Olympics. They'll just get all of the contestants in like a month early,
it'll be a hub
quarantine
situation.
everyone. There'll be no international travelers, which means people like me who have tickets to go to the Olympics still and spent many thousands of dollars on it probably won't be able to actually go to the Olympics. But
I hope they
that's what I'm
organise
guessing.
you a refund, because that's ridiculous.
I mean,
isn't it?
sure, but I'd rather just go. Please
Yeah.
let me go to Japan. Please.
Sailor Moon cast members were doing some appearances for the new 2-part film, Sailor Moon Eternal movie films, and all Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments have been cancelled, which will really upset Aaron. Well, actually, no, he doesn't mind because he does it digital anyway. There's also Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea Parks
That's
are
good.
closing
Oh, no.
earlier as well.
No,
They're not
that's good.
completely closing down, though.
Okay, good.
Now, this is the big one. Monday, the day our podcast goes out, is Japan's Coming of Age Day.
Oh, that's the day that everyone puts in their
Yeah.
like Furusode, their special kimono,
Yep.
and they basically it's like from 8-year-olds.
Yep.
They kind of become adults.
Yeah, so
It's like a
they
childhood
celebrate
ceremony.
all those who turned 20.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they normally host it at Disneyland, at the Ghibli Museum, and so on. And all those events have been
So
So
cancelled.
if they turn 20 that year, that's
Yeah.
when it...
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's,
I'm
a
confusing
big
with a
deal.
different childhood
You are
ceremony.
right.
Yeah,
There is an
yeah,
8-year-old
another
one as well.
8-year-old, and also so it's kind of that special.
But we're saying that the Ghibli Museum has been closed for maintenance since November, so I mean that's fair because they want to refurbish that so it's ready when the Ghibli theme park opens.
Well, I hope at least that some of the kids turning 20, adults turning 20, at least can go to a shrine or something like
Yeah.
that, and hopefully they're not closed.
Yeah,
So that'd be a shame to miss out on very important
Because that's a big
ceremony.
thing for...
It's
Yeah.
a big thing for them, yeah. And 20 is the
Drinking age.
is the drinking age of Japan, so it's the equivalent of our 18 here or 21 in the US.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
similar importance to them. Alrighty, now that is the stuff we're chatting about, but here's what's been making headlines over the past 2 weeks. Well, there's been a range of anime announcements over the past fortnight. Firstly, a second season of Bofuri, I Don't Want to Get Hurt So I'll Max Out My Defense is on the way, announced during a live online event on January 9th. Season 2 of the Slice of Life VR gaming anime will be headed to our screens in 2022. Also receiving a second season is Bear Isekai series Kuma 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 Bear, with more adventures for Yuna and her overpowered bear equipment. And the Twitter account for psychological crime series ID Invaded has teased the return of the original anime series this week. In a short video, the text "They will return" is shown in kanji, with a date 2021-01-08. As nothing was released on January 8th, this may mean the next update will be on August 1st, potentially for an autumn 2021 release. Heading to the silver screen, if you're excited for Studio Ghibli's first CG feature, Earwig and the Witch, but you can't head to the cinemas to watch it, there's some good news. The 82-minute film is heading to digital from February 5th, landing on HBO Max in the US, with more options expected to be announced over the coming months in partnership with G-Kids. Staying with G-Kids, an English dub is on the way for Yuasa Masaki's colour-drenched Night Out, the 90s short Walk On Girl, which is also heading to HBO Max on January 12th. The film originally released in 2017 and is based on the novel by Morimi Tomihiko, who also wrote The Tatami Galaxy. It seems the classic sport franchise Slam Dunk will also be returning to the big screen soon, with a film produced by Toei Animation in the works, and the dub for Konosuba's Legend of Crimson film is now live on Crunchyroll, with the dub cast from the series retaining their roles. Heading to the bookshelves, the Attack on Titan manga is coming to an end on April 9, ending the almost 12-year journey of Eren, Almond and Mikasa and their fight against the Titans. Also finishing up is the Cells at Work manga, with the February issue of Monthly Shonen Sirius being its last. The series has been on hiatus for almost 2 years until it returned in October, with the final chapter released on January 26th and centering on the coronavirus. Immortality manga, Arjun Demi-Human, is heading into the story's climax this month, with the January issues of Kodansha's Good Afternoon magazine starting the series' end. The manga has run since 2012, inspiring 2 anime series, 3 films, several OVAs, and a live-action movie. And comedy scuba diving series Grand Blue Dreaming has gone on hiatus due to artist Inojo Kenji suffering from back pain. This is all due to overwork, allegedly. The series will remain on hiatus until his recovery. And that's your anime news for the week ending January 10, 2021.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
That's a lot of anime.
Oh god, there's so many. Winter anime.
Yes, because it's winter here.
Yes. Can you feel the
41 degrees.
the cold embrace of the air conditioner?
I wish.
Our winters are so hot they're actually
Our winters are so hot, they're summers.
Oh my god.
I was going to say that our snow burns, but
I wish for snow right now.
and you know what? I feel like people would believe us if we said that.
Oh, that's fair.
It's the
I
Australian
think
way.
it's snowed
Yes.
in WA once in our lifetimes.
Yep, and that was on Bluff Knoll down south.
Yep.
On an incredibly cold day, and everyone went, "Oh my god, it's going to snow down there!" Dashed down there, and the snow was kind of a bit
was gone.
sludgy.
My mum sent pictures. It was nice though.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Well, yes, it is that time. We're talking about the anime of the winter season for the Northern Hemisphere. And we're going to have to start from... We've all picked 2 each. We're going to start with what Aaron's picked, even though he's not here.
Someone
because
put on the Aaron mask.
Here it is. There you
I
go.
am here.
Oh my god, that actually did sound like him.
Oh wow, it's Aaron.
Oh, hi, Aaron.
Now, Aaron wanted us to talk about Back Arrow. Now, I wasn't really aware of this show. It's an action fantasy mecha mix.
That sounds like an Aaron.
Yep.
Yeah. It also kind of sounds a bit like me. So this
What?
is a Lingerland. Is a land which is enclosed by the wall. The wall covers, protects, cultivates, and nurtures the land. Think sort of Attack on
Think
Titan-esque
like
wall.
Attack on
Yes,
Titan style.
exactly that.
wall.
The wall is considered a god. It is the foundation of the land. And one day in Edgar, a village on the outskirts of the Lingerland, it's the land that's lingering. Lingerland.
Lingerland.
A mysterious man known as Back Arrow appears. Arrow has lost his memory, but he claims that all he knows is that I came from outside the wall. And
Attack on Titan.
he tries to head beyond the wall to regain his memories, but is pulled into one conflict after another. Now, it's not Attack on Titan.
Is his first name Back and his last name Arrow?
I have not a clue.
Does he have an
Good.
arrow on his back?
He used to be
You've
an
watched
adventurer
it.
like you.
Okay, so I watched the trailer and I have notes here for it. Having not watched this episode, but I have watched the trailers, I get this.
Yeah.
Loud and bright.
Yeah. So
Oh, very, very colourful.
Sounds like
but
me.
It's also that the like scenery and the people and stuff. It looks so much like season 1 of Sword Art Online.
It does.
Oh.
That's what I don't understand. It's beautifully like, animated. And then you get to the clips of the actual characters and stuff. And it's like,
And not only that, but like the text on the trailer.
yeah.
It's Sword Art Online.
Okay, hold up. Is this
Alright,
going to be
so-
it was secretly a video game all along?
No, okay, I'm going to clarify this.
Okay.
This has a real sort of worlds collide sort of vibe to it. So there's a superior technology that lives outside of the walls, and something that what looks like a spacecraft almost crashes in
Yeah.
on this village.
A very kind of technicolored spacecraft like that.
like it would not be out of place in Space Dandy. It really wouldn't.
Yes.
And it's a medieval style world, so the art style, it's look, I'll be honest, art style pretty stock standard,
Yeah.
pretty bang in the middle of the road. It's good enough, but it's nothing really to go oh my god about.
Yeah, it feels like a fusion of like
Yeah, and
Attack on
look,
Titan, Sword Art
the
Online
story
kind of stuff.
could be really good if it's handled well.
It had a good write up. That's the weird thing. But then when I watched the trailer, I'm like, really? That's going to go along with this
Sometimes
anime?
PVs are really weird though. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
they
you
don't
got to watch
represent
this one
things
because you'll be
well.
like, this looks like Pokemon mixed with Sword Art Online.
Well, I was going to say the main
sounds
character looks
great.
like Shadow the Hedgehog.
yeah.
That doesn't sound great.
It feels
So-
like a mishmash of so many things. I can't get a clear read on it until I've actually watched it.
I think if his name wasn't Back Arrow, I'd be more into
Yeah.
it. Because everything else sounds good, but what does that mean?
Maybe they found him. He has no memory, and they named him that because he's an arrow
Does
on
he
his
have an
back.
arrow on his
I
back?
don't know.
Probably.
On his back,
But look,
arrow on
this
his back.
is we don't know what the rating is on this, but it's an original series, so we've got nothing else to go on except what we've seen so far. We suspect 12 episodes.
Yeah,
Most
definitely.
original series don't get more. It's going to air on Saturdays at midnight.
Platforms?
That's on Anime Lab, Annie Plus Asia, Bilibili, Funimation, and Wacom. So pretty much the Funimation suite.
Bing, that's
It's
gonna
on
get a dub.
Funimation, therefore it's on
Yeah.
these things.
But here's the weird one. Studio VOLN is the one the team behind it.
I have not.
Okay.
Tell me who this is.
They've done I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Oh, yeah, that movie. That movie.
Ushio
name.
and Tora from
Really?
2015.
Wow.
Yep. And Karakuri Circus from 2018.
Oh, I really wanted to watch that, but I missed
Yeah.
it. Did it?
I-
Did you guys watch Karakuri
No.
Circus?
A little
Now,
of it.
here's
A
the
couple of
thing.
episodes.
They all have ratings above a 7 on Mal.
Yeah, I heard it was quite
Hank Chris
good.
is very, very good.
Yeah, the movie was good.
Yeah.
Please stop.
But-
Kendall, please.
No,
Every
honestly.
time. But look, this could be interesting, and we'll let you probably know in the next few weeks as well, like if we're enjoying it or not. I mean, obviously not next episode because we've got the live show, but this could be one to watch for.
I
So
will try this arrow off the back.
Look, I just said this is definitely Aaron's cup of tea. I will
Yep.
give it the 3-episode treatment.
Yep, and
Yeah,
that's fair.
absolutely.
I will well, I'm going to give everything a 3-episode treatment. Like I just need to, because I'm a sucker, and I
your
always
obligation.
I always end up being the one that watches the really bad ones.
You choose
loving
to.
them too.
You could
No.
have stopped watching Gibiate, but you chose to keep going.
Yeah, because I just had.
That's
this
not
glim-
on us.
Look, no, that's not on you. It's not on you. That is on me entirely. But it was because I, as a
your duty.
it's my duty.
To the
Duty.
fans.
It's
to
the duty to the
people?
fans, to my team. It's if someone has to take something
I
for the
salute to you, Saga.
if someone has to
salute
take it
to
for the,
Kai.
stop saluting me, you three. This
Wait,
is
no,
not. This
Attack
is
on Titan salute. There
Oh,
we go.
yeah.
No,
Which
I'm not
hand's the
going
right
to
way
die
around?
from watching Gibiate. Actually, that's debatable. Now, let's move on to something that we have seen a little bit of before, and we're all quite excited for. And Farah, I believe this was one you're very keen on.
Oh, yes, indeed it is. It is Dr. Stone Season 2.
I mean,
yeah,
we were
yeah.
all trying
Yeah,
to pick
yeah.
this, and Farah won the coin flip.
I was like, no, it is mine. You are not allowed
Farah
to
claimed
touch.
Sanku and said, no, this is mine, and
my
I will
baby.
be taking this.
So who is your husbando?
So,
We do not use that.
One on the
word.
husbando board. No
One on
husbando
no
tick.
husbando for you. Now, I mean, we can all agree Stone Science 2.0 is going to be great.
yeah.
I started showing it to my niece who's 11 and she loved it.
It's perfect. It's perfect for
Science.
children. It's perfect for adults.
It's so much fun.
I mean, it teaches you how to make alcohol, gunpowder, and all kinds of things. So perfectly acceptable to
what
show
have
to
I
children.
done? Oh, no, wait a second.
Oh,
Now, it's
dear.
definitely that one you have to watch beforehand in order to get into the next season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's my word to everyone. Please go and watch season 1 because otherwise you're
Absolutely.
not going to know what the hell's going on. All I wrote in my notes is hi, pie.
Pie?
All right.
I mean, this is, I
Oh,
think,
hi. I thought you said pie.
to give away the
Yum.
to give the story, like
Well-
if anyone hasn't heard of this.
Well, we've got a lovely little rundown that they've done here, which avoids telling you too much.
Oh, okay.
Modern society is lost when a mysterious light leaves everyone petrified in stone.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of years in the future, super genius Senku awakens and begins restoring civilization with his kingdom of science. And now, as he sets down blueprints for a smartphone in the stone world, Tsukasa and his empire of might prepare for the upcoming war. Who will be the victor?
Yes.
Yes, because he woke up a couple of his friends, and one of them happens to be like this.
Spoilers!
I mean, it's like the
It is
second
a spoiler.
episode.
It is
but,
literally
First
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, you're right. It
But
is.
regardless, we've pretty much got we're up to it's called Stone Wars, and this is like the first season's all building up to this.
Yeah, definitely.
And the entire first season, it's just so exciting, and the hype is building and building and building, and I'm just so incredibly excited.
I'm very excited because there's new characters being introduced as well.
Wow.
The trailers are fantastic.
Yeah,
I
animation's
am
great.
so hyped when I watched those trailers. I was like, yes.
I couldn't wait for season 2. I couldn't. So I started reading the manga the moment season
That's
1
fair.
finished. I stopped reading when I got very far ahead and went, wow, I need to stop.
And how is it in the future?
It's very good.
Yeah,
It's
I
ve-
am.
So
I'm keen to see all
I'm-
the technological developments.
We don't know how many episodes it's going to get, but based on the prior season, hopefully 24,
24.
25. And I think they can cover the entire Stone Wars arc in 12.
I think they
Ooh.
probably could.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So there's a
Get even
lot.
more
Because
stuff.
then you're going to get season 3 after that.
Because like, do you think there'll be like a season break, and then they'll maybe
I
just
think
do a
they'll-
season
they'll do
straight
it-
into season
yeah.
3?
I'm
That'd be
hoping.
great.
I'm hoping that, or
Yeah.
a split season with
Or
like
movie.
the third part wouldn't really work for a movie.
Okay.
You'd need a season.
Ooh.
Now, my interest at this point of time is the dub because now with last season they went episode with episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, with
Semi-dub.
obviously with the COVID thing and stuff like that, it's going to make things a little bit harder. So I'm thinking it's going to give that 2-week buffer,
like Attack on Titan
like
at the
Attack on
moment.
Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely see this one appearing on Toonami in the future.
Yeah,
in
because
the
it was
US.
on the Toonami block,
Yeah,
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
so it's going to be huge in America as always.
Well, I was
And
going to say Attack on Titan starts on Toonami Block this week, actually.
Yeah, it
So
does.
probably the same.
I just had probably the worst idea ever.
Oh, and you're
Okay,
going to tell
moving
us
right along.
straight.
So you know how it's
Okay.
like hard for certain people to like meet up and stuff for professional reasons to record voice roll.
Uh-huh.
So what if they hired people of different countries to voice season by season? So the first season's dub was done by American voice actors. The second season dub will be done by British voice actors.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodness.
I like that one.
To our
Okay, no, but
to
wait
our
a second though.
listeners.
I'm coming over. Australian dub.
Could you imagine that?
Hey, mate, it's
Oi,
me,
mate.
Senku, and I'm here with your latest
It's your boy,
creations.
Senku.
I
let's
got
get the
made your
Barbie
ramen,
going, eh?
and I made
Oh.
some Coke for you.
I invented
Oi,
the Barbie.
Come on,
This
you
is a six-pack
bogan.
of water.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, did you about Tsukasa? Had a sick barbecue, mate.
Sick. We're gonna class him in the street.
Oh no. Okay.
another
So look,
shrimp on the
Stone
barbie.
Wars lands on January 14. You're going to be able to catch that on Anime Lab, Bilibili, Crunchyroll, Funimation, and Whacking Him on Thursdays at 10:30 at
And
night.
this is one I'm going to be watching the whole way
Oh,
through.
yeah.
Yeah, no
and
way.
TMS are behind it. You'll know them from Fruits Basket 2019,
Yo.
Megalobox, Detective Conan, the Lupin CG films, the Lupin...
Non-CG films.
Well, I was going to say Lupin non-CG films as well, yeah. And also Lupin the Third, the woman named Fujiko Mine. So there's a lot of good stuff that they've done, and they don't, tend to focus too much on one genre. It gives them a good wide feeling. And they did the first season as well, so, works out well. Now, this is mine.
We're being
I'm with you on
serious.
this one.
Oh,
This is mine.
This is mine. Oh, these things, man. Horimiya.
Yeah.
Now, I've been reading this manga for about 2 years now.
Wow.
One of our former co-hosts, Coco, actually introduced me to it,
Okay.
and she still reads it as well. It's adorable. It's very sweet, but the manga
Of course
has
it is. You like
really
it.
just become a slice of life series.
Okay.
Oh.
For the past 50 chapters.
Oh.
That's a lot of life.
Yeah, not much is happening, and
It's a heaping slice, in fact.
yeah, it doesn't feel like the characters will really progress from the point they've arrived at. So hopefully the series will kind of
Maybe ups the pacing.
force to push it a bit
Yeah.
more.
Oh, but be careful what you wish for. We've seen what happens with that domestic girlfriend.
Well,
Hey, now.
that was a domestic dumpster fire.
Which I loved.
We all did. So Horimiya is a series set in a school. It is school life. It is a slice of life comedy romance school shonen, and basically it's focuses on two characters, Hori and Miyamura. So admired at school for her amiability and her academic prowess.
Amiability.
Yeah. Kyoko Hori has been hiding another side of herself. With her parents often away from home, Hori has to look after her younger brother and do housework, leaving no chance to socialize. Meanwhile, Izumi Miyamura is seen as a brooding, glasses-wearing otaku. However, in reality, he's a gentle person who's inept at studying. He also has 9 piercings hidden along his long hair and a tattoo along his back and left shoulder.
Oh my god, he's so beautiful.
Yeah.
He really
He's
is.
so cute.
By sheer chance, Hori and Miyamura cross paths outside of school, neither looking as the other expects, and they seemingly polar opposites become friends, sharing with each other a side they've never shown to another. Now, the cast which supports them is amazing.
That's awesome.
Their relationship in recent chapters, I'm starting to think's not healthy, but
Side characters or the two main?
the two mains.
They kind of put that in perspective in the actual trailer as well. I saw
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
She's a bit, shall we say, rough. Is probably the best
Oh,
way
really?
to explain it. Yeah, not full blown, problematic, but I think she could do with a little bit of counselling.
Yeah.
I mean,
and-
look, everyone should go to therapy.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Put these kids in therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun.
So this is being done by Cloverworks as well. So
Bunny
he's
Girl
called-
Senpai.
Yes.
So, I went to watch the first episode of this.
Okay.
Is it out?
I didn't realize it was out.
No, that's the thing. I missed.
What did you watch?
Bottom tier character Tomazaki.
Okay, we'll come back
Because
to that later.
that's like...
Horimiya is airing on January 9th, so that's
Today, yeah.
Saturday night. So by the
Yes.
time this goes live on the Monday, we will have all watched
So
looks
it.
it's
super
kind of
cute.
no wonder that I missed.
It looks very cute. Look, I think like an anime adaptation of this will in turn force the manga to
Oh,
now
yeah.
start preceding those character storylines.
And the animation for it, if you watch the trailer, it's beautiful. It has kind of
really
like a kind of sketched manga quality to it.
It's got a very Darling in the Franxx feel, which is also from Cloverworks as well.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
that sort of, and Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, that sort of like, how would you say, like almost otherworldly?
Oh,
It was very
Say it-
mystical.
Yeah.
Bunny Girl Senpai was very mystical.
Yeah.
It It was
Shiny.
like real but shiny. Yeah, like
Real but shiny. So look, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be on all the Funimation brands. So Anime Lab, Annie Plus, Bilibili, Funimation, and Wakanim. Airs on Sundays at just at 12:30 in the morning. We're expecting 12 episodes, but we're not sure. And
No, it will be a 12. I reckon it's 12.
That's based on a manga, as I mentioned. Very nice, very shiny. We like this.
Yeah, just the trailers left me wanting more, to be honest. I'm definitely this is my
The character designs were enough for me. They look
Yeah.
super cute,
Oh,
so I'm into it.
You've seen like the trailer artwork with like 9 of them in a box, and it looks
It's
like
beautiful.
the Brady Bunch almost.
I just love the like they're like this, and then at school, and then they're
It's in
different.
her circumstances.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like His and Her Circumstances, which I absolutely enjoyed.
favourite.
Karakano?
Yeah, Karakano.
Yeah, and I loved that manga, so yeah, very into that.
Okay, Kenny, you look like you're in pain.
Yeah, I just mentally envisioned a Brady Bunch anime. Why would you do that to
Actually,
me?
to
And
be
they
fair though,
call
if you
it the
see that
Brady
artwork, it kind of has that Brady Bunch feel. The
It does.
art.
It really does.
But you know, if the fact that it's going to be on Anime Lab, it's going to get a Funimation dub. I'm calling
yeah.
it now. So.
Oh, it'll get a funny dub.
Yeah.
Now, Farah, we need to head into the world of idols.
Yes, we do.
This is, of course, yours and Loz's stamping terrain.
You are our
Oh
guide.
no, please! I stand next to the Queen. I am only a servant in her presence.
I am.
Okay. Well, Farah, wota hard.
I don't have my pen lights on me.
Whoa.
You know, Idly Pride. Now, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago. Can't remember what episode it was, but we definitely talked about it.
We did, yeah.
We spoke about how it's a 12-girl anime where we're looking at, you know, the life of being in an anime. Not being in an anime, they're in an anime.
Well,
being
it's the life and times of idols.
idols, yeah. Now, I watched the trailers for it. You get that dark feel of
do.
it's like you know there's some real drama gonna happen, and I really hope they don't fall flat on it. But yeah,
So this is one of those more gritty idol
oh
animes.
yeah.
Well, that's literally what I wrote in my notes. Seems to be a more gritty and grounded idol series, showcasing it's not all fun and nico ni.
Actually, there is a quote from it. No one is in the spotlight from the beginning. Everyone is weak. Only those who do not break will reach the highest peak to become an idol. This is a
dear.
story of idols who face the big dreams and harsh realities.
And that is literally the synopsis I have.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
Oh, no.
So it's not going to be like Love Live. I mean, Love Live was pretty, you know,
There
they
was
had their
character
challenges
drama,
and stuff
but
like that.
They did kind of become idols real easy.
I was going to say, no offense to Love Live, you don't see them practicing a lot. You kind of see them more
Yeah, it's fair.
bonding.
Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on what season you watch, really.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have a question for you, Farah, Idol Queen. Why did you choose this idol anime over all the other idol animes that there are this season? Because there's a
There's
few.
quite a few.
So why this one? Why'd you choose?
Purely with just the animation style and the fact that it does have the 12 girls in it. And I know that, you know, if this is the type of show where it's going to getting money involved and stuff like that, they're going to have some good songs coming out of it. And I do feel that's going to be something that we're going to look forward
Is
to.
the cast quite good as well? Like
From what I heard from the
cast?
trailer, yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Can I also mention, 'tis shiny.
Okay, but is it bad CG dancing
No.
shiny?
This is
Ooh,
2D.
That's
So
wonderful.
that's why I was like, I'm so
I
definitely
think the only bit I saw in the trailer
Was
where
that-
they almost edged on the CG is when they were doing like the trial with
I
the
mean, if
board
it
in front of them.
flows nicely, that's fine. It's just when
Yeah.
it's really drastically CG dancing versus
No.
2D background.
Now, obviously, I had no idea about this until you showed me those clips before, and you said this was actually a YouTube idol group beforehand.
Was it?
Yes, I remember that.
yeah.
So they actually have a build-up already.
Oh, that's
Wow.
right. No, we did talk
We
about
talked
this.
about it.
It's
Yeah,
all
'cause
coming back.
This is listed as an original series, and it's not a mixed media project, meaning that this was designed from the get-go. They did like the preview, like they sort of did with
22/7.
22/7, and also like they did with what was the other one, Hypnosis Mike, where they have that existing
Yeah,
presence.
the
and
mixed
they've-
media on YouTube.
They've proven
Yeah.
it. But in this case, it's just considered an original anime. So go
But
figure.
do you just watch those trailers and you're like, oh my goodness, this is going to be something?
Now here's the thing. So far, only Bilibili has listed it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
kinda
very.
wild.
That's very.
Yeah.
I mean, that might
So-
mean that other Funimation places get it
I
because I
actually
know
don't
that.
think it's going to go Funimation. I'm calling Netflix on this one.
You really think so?
I think so.
To
'Cause
be honest,
I've
I
seen
don't
some
think
Bilibili go to Anime Lab, like Heaven's Official
I'm going to be
Blessing.
honest. I don't think it's going to. Well, because Bilibili tends to get most of Funimation stuff as part
Yeah.
of their licensing. But if Bilibili have started out as the first ones to get it, I think the ball's up in the air, and I suspect we could be
Crunchyroll,
looking
maybe.
at a Sentai Filmworks
Actually, that
okay.
would make more sense.
High Dive.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
So-
trying to
50%.
edge out Funimation, flip Please leave us alone.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
can definitely see Sentai taking this one on.
Yeah, because it's definitely in their ballpark.
Yes,
and
you've got a
we
good call.
don't have that full episode count yet, but you rarely do it at the beginning.
So if it's not High Dive, it'll be Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
I don't think it'll go Netflix because they want worldwide rights.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about that yet.
No, we haven't. This is done by Studio Lurch.
Perfect.
You will have seen them from Assassination Classroom, Danganronpa, Given, Lost in Space, Radiant. Like they've got a pretty good back catalogue. They've also got some trash in there, but it always looks good. So
And that Given movie finally might be coming out soon as well.
Yeah, maybe. Now, Idly Pride airs on Sundays at 11:30 p.m. in Japan, and as we said, only Billy so far. But that starts January 10, so Sunday the day before.
So maybe if we
episode
go
comes out.
home tonight, we might hear some news about it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully that things don't change too much between now and then. Okay. Kenny, you're very excited for this
I'm
one.
so happy
So
that it's
excited.
returned. This is one of my favorite animes, simply for the fact that it is simply not like other animes. It's chill. It's low stakes. Nothing bad happens to these people. This is Eurocamp, season 2.
Bring on the comf. So
We've been hoping for like another season. We had room camps. They're
Well,
sort of like short season.
yeah, so we knew we were getting another season. We're also getting a movie.
Yes.
Oh, that
Yeah.
means the animation will be awesome.
I caught the first episode of this and then had to go back and rewatch an episode to wonder, has it always been this pretty?
And the answer's yes.
Well, yes, turns out yes.
Yeah.
It just feels like they've given more to the locations because that was
Yeah.
kind of their bread and butter, what made them so successful.
It really does.
And I feel like there is more to that because in the first episode of season 2, you see them more planning out where they're going to go. You see like little shots of them using Google Maps and stuff like that to say,
Yeah, for the
"Oh,
trailers
I'm
and
heading
stuff."
over to this way and stuff like that. And it's even evident in the new opening as well.
Oh, fantastic.
So
So is this an anime that teaches you how to camp,
It's
basically?
cute girls camping.
it gives you the tips that you need to know for camping, and I feel like in this season they're going to show more of the planning aspect and more of the stuff that you should have when you go camping.
Now, you might have heard about, 18 months, 2 years ago, the rise of what was referred to as slow TV, which is like, a train crossing a vast countryside for several hours. This has been dubbed slow anime in the fact that it's relaxing, it's calming, and everything that happens within it isn't too... I guess you could say it doesn't take you out of the experience.
It's what you want to
Interesting.
watch between like the giant robots, explosions, and isekai tropes.
To be
Okay.
honest, it's good to end on before going to bed.
Heck yeah.
So that's like, for me, this is why I kind of watch Natsume Yujinko, Natsume's Book of Friends.
Yes.
But that has a lot more like stress and action and plot and such, whereas this is more just that kind the quiet moments in Natsume, I guess.
Yeah, because the one thing I love about this show is kind of the narrator.
Yeah.
Like in the first episode of season 1, Rin will go looking for firewood to make a little campfire, and then you'll hear this voice go, "This is a pine cone. It's a perfect fire starter."
And then they made a YouTube series sending the guy who voiced the narrator out to all the locations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good fun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, season 1 and season 2, first episode, they go to the same campsite. I think it's called Shimua or something. I will need to check that. Apologies. And the guy who is sort of like selling them their camp spot and the sort of like what is it, concierge of the campground?
Oh, yeah.
The concept.
He's real.
Yeah. So all,
As in like a real person.
He's a
all
real
of the
person.
people
That's sweet.
featured as staff at these
Oh, they
campsites in
actually
the anime
work
are
there.
real people.
That's delightful.
This makes me so happy for some reason.
They did that in Yuri on Ice, like a lot of people they interviewed, or like the
Yes.
people that were broadcasting, they were actually the real
wow.
newscasters as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Can I ask why, like just in the kind of same way I asked Farah, why are you also picking Eurocamp 2? Just I know it's obviously your favorite and it's important to you.
It's like one of my big ones for this season. But why I'm picking this is simply because I'm excited about it and I want it to have more love.
Excellent.
Well, I mean, I think one of the reasons that it gets so much love is because it makes you feel relaxed.
That's
it's,
important.
It's very hard to find an anime that, we see it everywhere. It's like, this is a slice of life anime, but you get to episode 11 and then you're just like, oh, I'm
Something
so
horrible
sad.
has happened.
Something
Past
horrible has
issues, it's
happened.
drama.
However, Eurocamp does not have that. I think the most conflict I've seen in it was, oh no, we forgot the meat. Oh, it's all right. We picked some up anyway. Oh.
I think it's also like it's a really nice time to release something like this because people can't go out into the world and travel.
Anxious people at the
and
moment.
it would be lovely just to kind of watch some cute girls doing cute camping in cool places.
And that's the thing as well, because we've discussed this, that cute girls doing cute things tends to get boring when it gets repetitive.
Yes.
This doesn't, because it changes location.
And it isn't so
builds a
much
story.
focused on just them being cute as well. It's focused on the camping aspect. This is how to be chill in Japan.
So if you are going to check it out, it is on Crunchyroll worldwide. It's also landing on Annie+. It's PG-13. We know there's going to be 13 episodes based off a 4-koma manga. Thursdays at 11 p.m. it's airing. Created by C Station, and I'll be perfectly blunt, only Eurocamp matters in their catalogue, the rest trash. So they really nailed it with this. Yeah. So I don't think it's got a dub. The first season either.
Not quite yet. It does have a live action.
Yes,
Yes,
it does.
it's got a live action. I can't recall it having a dub though.
No, I don't believe so. Not yet.
But look, if you're looking for something to chill out to this year, this is the one. Like, this is the one. It's always the one.
Well, it's definitely not the next show on the list.
No, and we'll get back to that right after this break.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
That's a lot of anime.
Oh god, there's so many. Winter anime.
Ooh. Is Mom acting suspicious to you? No.
And that's it. That's the show.
Yeah, that's basically
I
it.
have a memory from my past
it was
life.
the show.
All right, Promised Neverland 2, it's back.
But different, as you kind of would expect.
Now, me and Farah were talking about this, and Kenny, you're obviously, this is one of the ones you've picked, but Farah said to us, I'm not too sure I like it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, Farah, but I'm super interested in that.
And
What's up?
You know what? I said, okay, let's give it a go. Let's start watching it because I want to be that one, that rides the train like the first season. I was not impressed at all.
I guess because it's going to be a tone shift from
Massive
from
tone
the
shift.
end of
But
the
I
last
mean,
season.
it kind of has to be. I feel
Yeah.
like am I like super old here if I reference a movie called The Great Escape?
Yes,
Yeah.
but yes, I do. I know what you're
I
saying.
know what you're talking about, but yeah.
That's the one, yes.
Yeah.
But like that movie was in two halves. The first half of the movie was they're in a prison camp, they're trying to escape. The second half of the movie is, okay, we're out. What the hell do we do now?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually exactly what this is.
And yeah, I
well,
feel like that's the thing.
Now-
This is sort of like the...
I've read the manga, I've finished the series, and I can let
'cause
you...
it is finished, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can let you know the story's fantastic.
Yeah.
It does get better and better.
Okay.
But when they, after the end of season 1 and where season 2 starts, they now have to literally build an entire world. And it takes them a little bit to find their feeding.
Okay.
And it's their footing. And
Their
what,
feeting, yes.
Their feeding.
Yeah, it's not the characters building
Great
the world.
feat
it's
of strength. Great strength of feet.
Because, yeah, in the first season you were given like the vaguest of vague hints about
But you know
what things are
what?
like outside.
I like that because it brought that mystery kind of thing to that
Yeah.
and that
Absolutely.
feel. Whereas this, it's just like bang, we're in it.
I feel like
Huh?
before it's mysterious and now it's exploring that other world. And I
Yeah.
think that drags me in where it might repel you.
I think also, like, particularly when you're watching, like, the first, let's say, 5 episodes of season 1, it's almost filmed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's produced like a thriller. It's like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
You don't know what the bad guy is. You haven't seen them yet, but you know that they're bad.
And that
it's
draws you
scary,
in.
and you're not sure what the real
Now,
enemy
you
is.
see
And now
bits
you
of
do
them.
know because it's on the poster for season 2.
But I can let you know that things are not as they seem,
And
the
I
question
hope for that.
around who is the main bad guy is critical all the way till the end.
Yeah, so I'm
So-
super excited, like, but I am intrigued
But
by the tone
as I was
shift.
saying to Farah, I think Promised Neverland season 2 will need 3 episodes
And
at
I
least
noticed
to
that.
establish its
to
footing.
get back to where it
But
was hyping
I can let
before.
you know, I think it's called the Goldie Pond Saga, which should be the main one that's covered this season, is well worth the watch.
Yeah, I mean, in my notes, I definitely said giving it a 3-episode treatment until I go and binge it later.
Yeah,
And I don't
this
think
is
it's going to be
definitely
that one where I'm going to be
binge.
watching week up, unless, the 3 episodes say you've got to watch it 3
Yeah.
weeks,
Yeah.
This will be the binge one.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm trying not to spoil it, but they start the episode. The pacing of the episode was just really weird to me. Like they show a clip from the middle of the episode, drag it to the first, and then
I wonder if watching the finale of season 1, then going straight to the next episode would help.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
It wouldn't.
Oh.
But this is what I mean. This is why I'm like, and then I'm sorry, but the opening is terrible.
Really, it was my favorite opening of that season.
It's
for
no
season
overworld,
1.
is it?
Oh, I mean,
I didn't mind it.
honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
Kenny, this is your show, so if you liked it,
Yeah, we'll go.
That's all that matters.
I feel like it's sort of different folks, different strokes. It's going to be a tone shift, but who knows?
Yeah.
Stick with it for a little bit.
Well, I mean, this is everywhere. So this is on Amazon Prime Japan, Anime Lab, AniPlus Asia, Bilibili, Funimation, Hulu, Wakanim, and apparently all of the European ones are going to list it next week as well. So that'll probably be on Yamamoto in Italy as well. So there's a lot of places you can catch
it's
this.
going to have a dub as well, this one.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I've just kind of figured out what it does remind me of, and I don't think I've even made this reference before. You guys seen a game called Little Nightmares?
No.
yes.
I'm going to have to show you this afterwards. It's I think there is a direct comparison to be made here.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, look, it's airing on. It's going to get 11 episodes for starters.
Interesting. 11?
11, yeah, is the official guide, and that's airing on Fridays at 1:25 in the morning.
That's unusual.
Now, bit of a warning: R18.
Absolutely.
We know
Oh,
this obviously from the
definitely.
first season. Second season is as bad. There are going to be moments in it that are going to be quite terrifying.
Confronting as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. So do be careful. Once again, it's Cloverworks, so
It looks great.
it's going to look great. Same studio as last time, same team as last time. So there will be that consistency across it. Okay, let's jump into the world of skateboarding,
Yay.
because I was not expecting
you mean the
to
90s?
be. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, we're going back.
I
baby.
was
We're
not
bringing it back.
expecting to be
Tie that
so
through.
invested in this.
I'm so
Loz,
invested.
what on earth is Skate the Infinite?
Hello, it's me. I'm here to talk to you about boys and
Face.
sports anime, and I'm ready to go. My
Oh,
Guys,
look,
you cannot
that-
see her face
that-
right now,
that
but
was-
it's like the
I
look.
just
biggest
adjusted my
smile.
glasses,
Look,
like
look.
I'm, yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Loz
thanks.
is the guru of all things boy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. As the boy guru, I'm here. Well, my third show is the Yuri show, so I float always,
Boys with
guys.
boys.
So
No, that's not what that is. Anyway,
okay,
let's talk about skate.
bookmark that because I'll come back in a second. So SK8 or Skate. The Infinity, 8 also being on its side, so it's like SK Infinity symbol. So Skate the Infinity, Studio Bones. So we love Studio Bones, My Hero Academia, Mob Psycho, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, all of that jazz. I'm so excited for a show about skateboarding races, like professional
Yeah.
skateboarding. And remember that, again, this is supposed to be the year of the Olympics was
I was
last
gonna
year,
say, yeah.
and skateboarding just entered the Olympics.
I know,
so
right?
isn't that cool and wild?
I don't know. I'm ambivalent about skateboarding joining the Olympics because that means there's going to be a sort of a resurgence of Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy song.
Hey, man.
And it's a
I'm for
great
it.
thing. The
He was
cargo
a
pants
skater
are back.
boy.
Give Tony Hawk a gold medal. It's
Yep,
great.
done.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Bullets are back as well.
2008 once again, guys.
Now, Skate the Infinity, as you said, by Bones, no rating known at this stage, and it's an original.
Yeah, so it's an original by Hiroko Itsumi, who's the creator of Free, which was also an original. So when you said before, like, the boys with boys, I mean, it's probably going to have a bit of yaoi bait in
Oh,
there,
yeah.
just based on the fact that it is the creator of Free, and also she also directed Banana Fish as well. Obviously, Banana Fish was a yaoi manga that it wasn't bait.
Not
but,
to mention it was nuts.
Yep.
but Banana Fish is not a typical BL show at all.
Not at all.
But I think Skate's going to be a lot more like Free. It's, if you look at the PV, Skate the Infinity, it's bright colored. It's got, incredibly wild character designs with crazy colored hair.
And the animation
It's
is
awesome.
gorgeous.
It's awesome.
It's slick. I saw this and I immediately went, yes. This is Air Gear meets Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It looks just like
that's so
Air Gear.
cool.
And I was
I
really
see it,
nostalgic
yeah.
for Air Gear watching this. Absolutely.
Same.
And Kenny was saying that it's, just close off the nominations now, guys, because this is the best flow of animation of the year.
It's pretty slick.
I know.
I
We've
mean,
obviously
wait and
just
see,
come out of
but
our
this is a
award
great
show,
contender.
but
This is
it's
one of the
just-
nominees.
Yeah, I think it is.
And
Definitely.
again, that's My Hero Academia Bones coming through as well.
Now, we should give the actual summary of this.
Yes, I shall do this. So Reiki is a high school sophomore and a skater and addicted to S, a highly secret and dangerous downhill skateboarding race that takes place in an abandoned mine. The skaters are especially wild about the beefs, which I think is hilarious. You know when you got beef with someone?
You got beef, mad beef?
About the beefs or like heated battles that erupt during their races. So they're skateboard fighting team. Let's go. Reiki takes Langa, a transfer student transferring Japan after studying abroad, to the mine where the races are held. Langa, who has no skateboarding experience, finds himself pulled into the world of S
Now,
racing.
am I the only one who thinks when they say, you're addicted to S, I think of that S we used to draw in our books.
Oh, the
as
cool
kids,
S.
The cool S.
I'm
The
gonna draw
Stussy
mine
S.
now.
I mean, again, I know this is probably set now, but to me, Avril Lavigne's playing. Everyone's wearing fluoro. It's the 90s or early noughties.
They've all got
Let's
their
go.
Walkmans.
They've all got chain wallets.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Black eyeliner all
Oh
around.
my god.
Oh, this is going to be a nostalgia trip.
So I'm
Yeah.
super excited, and I want to just kind of leap into the Faraday's drew a cool S. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
It's back, baby.
It's back.
Students still do that. I have because I'm a teacher, and at my school, kids still draw the cool S. And when I first
I
saw it,
saw
I was
s-
like, I'm so proud.
I saw someone's year 12 art project was a giant S made out of smaller S's in
That's
the same.
amazing.
That's
Yeah,
art, baby.
That's art.
That is a tattoo idea waiting to happen.
No, Farah,
Terrible
no.
idea waiting to happen, Farah.
Well, at least we know it'll never go out of fashion, apparently.
Apparently.
Anyway, moving from Skate the Infinity, I'm doubling down on the Skate and the redhead protagonist because
Oh.
Skate Leading Stars also has a redhead protagonist.
Oh, yeah.
And is another sports anime.
This is Yuri on Ice meets Haikyuu.
No, not exactly. I would say it's Yuri on Ice meets Love Live.
Yes.
Or Revue Starlight, actually. I'm changing it to that. So Revue Starlight was like a idol-ish show that was very about Takarazuka kind of productions, and they all had big capes, and it was very
Very
dramatic.
dark, yeah.
Because this is about skate leading. Now, skate leading is kind of like ice dancing. It's not figure skating as Yuri on Ice was. So that was about world championship level ice skating, whereas this is about high school level skate leading.
Now, before we jump deep into this, Skate the Infinity, Anime Lab, Billy Funimation and Wackanim, Sundays at 2 a.m. And that is out now, if you're
Yeah,
listening now.
They
Should be out
released the
today.
first episode about a week ago, actually, because I
Yeah.
watched it.
They did
Really?
they did
Yeah.
they
I
did
haven't watched it yet.
They did a preview release, but the official launch date is this weekend.
Oh my god, I could have already seen it, and
Yeah.
I haven't
I
seen it
actually
yet.
watched it.
Oh my
Bit of
god,
patter.
Farah, tell me, is it good?
As soon as I watched it, I had to go and watch Yuri on Ice again.
That's good.
No, I'm
Wait, you're
talking
talking about-
no, I'm
no,
talking about
oh, okay.
Skate.
Skate
the
the
Infinity.
Look, there's two skates.
Now,
Okay.
Skate Leading Stars.
That's
That
the one.
is
its
out
first
now.
two
Yeah.
episodes are
Yeah.
out.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen both episodes.
But Skate the Infinity, that lands this weekend, its first episode. Skate
I'm
Leading
so
Stars
watching that.
Ice Skating is out now.
Yeah, sorry to jump around.
Sorry,
it
we
was
got
just
confused
the
there.
segue was so easy to
Yeah.
make. I just kind of just pushed myself
Skate,
on
skate,
through.
skate.
You've got to remember to give the people what they want. They need to know the details.
The
Okay,
people
Kyle.
want redhead protagonists.
Yes, they do.
They do.
I mean, come on.
One souffle
And they want
pancakes.
the listed genre, which here it says drama sports, and then I could just put in brackets Laura.
Shall I just slam these two together? It's Laura Town.
Now, you watched the first episode of this
Yeah,
as well.
so I've seen the first two episodes. It's done by JC Staff, and it looks really nice. There was some problems. I don't want to draw too many comparisons to Yuri on Ice, but you're gonna.
yeah.
And that was with the animation they were pushing out so quickly. There was a little bit of some wonky animation.
Yes.
Obviously, they fixed it for the Blu-ray, but this first two episodes, there's no kind of wonky, weird background figure skating spaghetti people.
Oh, okay.
Everything looks really clean, so that's awesome, and it looks beautiful, especially the lighting as well. So I'll give you a rundown of Skate Leading Stars. So Meshima left the world of figure skating after his rival said, "You'll never beat me."
Yeah.
Years later, using his athleticism to help several high school teams, and he's never really focusing on one. He just goes around and says, "I'll play basketball today, I'll play soccer today," but he never really commits. But when his adversary publicly announces that he's shifting to a team sport of skate leading, a kid familiar with his past basically comes and says, "Hey, let's take this guy on together. Go back on the ice, and we're going to take him down." And it's really exciting. So
I've got to be honest, like,
ooh.
dropping out because you'll never beat me just kind of feels
It's a
like a
bit-
bit.
I just heard that.
You'll
just
never
like,
beat me. Oh, okay, then I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, like,
You'll never beat me.
Even the way he
okay.
when you watch it,
Yeah.
and the way
Oh.
he says it is just like, okay, sis.
it's pretty rough. Like the first episode kind of defines the relationship between Mishima and his rival, which I cannot remember his name. Anyway,
No. He's clearly not
red
important.
hair versus white hair.
Okay, yeah.
And he's always second on the podium with white hair on number one. And like literally through like elementary school all the way up to
Always
high
some
school.
white-haired guy is the villain.
Absolutely. Well, antagonist, but yeah, the rival. And then so he leaves. He's like, I'm never going to beat you. Screw this. But what I really find is very interesting is I really dislike the protagonist, and I think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to. He is arrogant. He is full of himself.
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than everyone else, and everyone keeps telling him that.
I was
going to
say
really
that's
refreshing.
That's one of the things I saw in the trailer.
You
That
suppose there's going to be some character development
Absolutely.
there.
Well,
Yeah.
he has to because everyone's like, I won't work with you.
essentially, like the way it's phrased in the trailer is that this is a team sport. There is no room for a superstar in the middle and everyone else hanging off
There's
them.
no I in team,
There's-
dude.
Yeah, but there is 7 in individual excellence. No,
There's an I in I. That was
there
so
isn't.
smooth.
No, there isn't. It's 5.
That's probably why I did not like it, because I was so angry with the main character. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, chill. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, because you see the other characters like telling him, like, just,
especially in episode 2. So it
really?
it definitely happens down on that. So yeah, after watching the first 2 episodes, I'm really quite delighted to say that unless I'm reading this super wrong, which is wild, like he's gonna have to change. And I love that they're enforcing the protagonist to not be an arrogant.
okay, then maybe I'm going to give this a
work,
bit more
you
of a
know?
go.
Well, like in one of the trailers is like a moment where one of the other guys goes, "Wait, did he just help me? What? He helped me with my routine."
Okay.
As like part of their performance.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
All right, then I
something's
definitely give it a
changing.
bit
You
more.
know,
Because this
he's
is now a
getting
team sport.
Yeah.
You can't be the ace. You have to be part of the team. So I'm really excited to see how this develops.
All right, so where can we catch it?
So this is on Anime Lab, Anime+, Bilibili, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Wakamin. It's everywhere.
Yep, it's great.
And Anime Lab are really pushing it. It keeps being on their banner.
Oh,
so
is it?
Yeah.
it's definitely one of their big ones of the season. And I would agree. I think it's going to really capture a lot of people.
it's also an original, which means there's more room for profiting.
We love that.
And hot boys too.
So many hot boys, Farrah. Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so there is 12 episodes of this Sundays at 10:30. 2 episodes out already. 3 by the time this episode
Yeah.
goes out.
yeah, go give it a 3-episode watch.
Now, this one, another one from Aaron, and I also was kind of keen to talk about this. It's called Suppose a Kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town.
I don't know, man. What do you suppose would happen with a guy
I
like
don't
that?
know. Maybe he'd start a pub.
Maybe. I feel like he'd just feel very out of place in
think
like
he'd
the
just-
Star Town.
Would he be overpowered?
Yeah,
Well-
I reckon he might be overpowered. I reckon this might be a power fantasy.
Do you think he might need new clothes?
I reckon he might
Yeah.
need new clothes to try to blend in. His,
That's-
top
That's
level
the
armor.
anime.
I don't think he's going to fit in.
We
Yeah,
did
I
it.
don't think so.
The anime's over, guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Suppose the
We've
kid
done all the anime.
was so powerful and then he went back to the
fun.
starter town.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So,
he
but
did it.
It's not quite what you think. So basically, he's considered a weakling his entire life, and he's a novice adventurer called Lloyd. So he leaves his village, which is located at the fringe of the mortal world, to fulfill his dream to become a soldier. So he arrives at the capital, and then the people discover that this oblivious kid from Hard Knocks might be more powerful than anyone expects. So he's grown up in an area which is dangerous and now he's gone to basically civilization.
So basically, it's the whole Superman treatment. He's
Yeah.
completely average on his homeworld, but the second he comes to Earth, he is just maxi powered.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
So Aaron wanted to check this out, and I'm kind of with him as well. It's refreshing that it's not an isekai. That
Yeah, I
makes
was
me
about to
very
ask,
pleased.
is it isekai?
It's not an
It's not.
isekai. It's not a power fantasy from what I can see.
Well-
it's kind of just sort of. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There is a power fantasy there, but you can tell from the character when you watch that first episode that it's not a self-insert.
Also,
Yeah.
first episode's out?
Yeah,
It
first
is.
episode's out.
I've seen a
Bethesda.
little of it. It looks troopy as it gets.
It looks funny as well.
but yeah, it does.
So this is an adventure fantasy series. Liden Films are behind
Ooh,
it.
yay.
So that's Heroic Legend of Arslan, Terraformers, After School Dice Club, and a litany of others. And that's airing on Mondays at 10 p.m. So first episode out. Episode 2 will come out shortly after this podcast goes live. Anime Lab, Bilibili, Funimation, Muse Asia Network. So all of the Muse Asia. So that's Muse Asia in Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei. It's everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
And whacking him.
So they're really pushing it.
They're really pushing it.
From Konosuba to, let's say, Rising of the Shield Hero, where are we at between like comedy to like takes itself too seriously?
I'd say.
I'd definitely say more towards the Konosuba end.
Oh,
like,
that's dope.
If,
Yeah.
if,
Yeah.
if Konosuba is a 0 and Shield Hero is a 10, I'd say like a 4. I think feels about right.
So it takes
3 or
itself
4.
kind of seriously, but it's going to make fun of itself along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm watching a clip of it now, and it is Konosuba level funny.
Yeah, it looks good. So, look, I can highly recommend checking it out if you're looking for a new fantasy which isn't going to take itself too seriously. There are some this season which really are taking themselves far too seriously.
Yeah.
And we won't touch that.
Which after this, I feel like we could do with less of.
We can do less.
This is
with
why
less
I go
of
for
that.
comfy camp.
It is exactly why you go for comfy camp. All right, moving on. This is the last one. This is mine, actually.
I'm so excited.
And I'm so excited
I have
for
no
this.
idea what it's about.
Well,
but I'm excited.
I've
Yeah, going
managed
from
to
the
figure
titles-
something out.
Okay, tell us about this.
Eggs are a metaphor.
Wonder Egg.
Wait,
So,
what?
Wonder Egg priority. So, I did mention this a little while ago when that first art dropped, and it looks stunning.
It looks so pretty.
First of all, it's Cloverworks, so
but the highest level of Cloverworks.
This is like Cloverworks stole some budget from something else and dumped it into this.
Kyoto Animation.
And it's basically that level. So Wonder Egg Priority is a drama series. It's not magical. It's, to our knowledge at this stage, it's not sci-fi. And the rating is unknown. It's an original series. We don't know how long it's going to be, but likely 12 episodes because it's an original. Airs on Wednesdays at 1:29 a.m. in Japan. Now, this is a story of troubled girls, and this has been spun by screenwriter Shinji Nojima in the world of anime. Now, Shinji Nojima, I believe, has done a lot of drama-focused stories in the past, especially original anime, but I don't think we've seen anything for about 5 or 6 years from him. So, it will be interesting. So, these girls are led by a mysterious voice, and it focuses on Ai Oto, and that's the main girl you've seen on all the promo with a heterochromia, so one blue, one yellow eye, blue hair, very happy in a yellow vest. And she's on a midnight stroll, and she picks up an egg she finds on the ground. Now, this looks like, your standard kitchen egg from a chicken, but it's got something written on it, which looks like it might be, X's or a barcode or something like that. So it's an egg, but not a normal egg. And the voice coaxes her, if you want to change the future, you only need to choose now. Now, believe in yourself and break the egg. So what awaits her after she breaks it? We don't know.
So
What
she
is the
finds
egg?
an egg on the floor.
and she picks it up.
I
The egg
don't
speaks
know,
to her.
I don't know if it's on the floor or anything like that. They don't show the exact meaning point
The
yet.
egg is within.
This doesn't. the egg is
What if
within.
we were eggs all along?
My God.
This doesn't actually air until January 13, the first episode. At the moment, we already know the whole Funimation brand is on board with it because of how gorgeous it is. Cloverworks, as we mentioned, this could be really good. But if you have a look at all the trailers, there are
nothing.
a lot of eggs. Like, there are people pouring eggs onto rice. There are people cooking with eggs.
What does it mean?
Guys, I feel like they're trying to tell us something
Eat
about
more eggs.
omelets.
Omelette du
Propaganda
fromage.
on
This
eggs.
is just like Zombieland Saga.
What
This
is
is just
eggs?
made to promote eggs. Zombieland Saga is made to promote idols and Saga. This is just for eggs.
And Comfy
Buy
Camp is
eggs.
just
So
the tourist bureau
this
of
is
Japan.
this is We Love Rice all over again.
Oh
but
God,
with eggs.
no. Not that
I really
thing.
hope it's not a propaganda egg
I
anime.
don't think it is.
I think it'll be kind of like Bunny Girl Senpai, but with like a little sprinkling of magic realism, like not super supernatural.
It kind of had, like the way Carl explained it, because
Yeah.
I haven't seen a trailer or anything for it. Magica Madoka popped into my head.
No, I don't think so at all.
No.
Because like the only reason why I get this is Sugar Chara, which actually had eggs in
Yeah.
it, where their little magical girl spirits lived. But no, I think like it's going to be very drama focused.
Well, I'm all
Yes.
for Bunny Girl Senpai, so
Yeah,
I think
I
this
feel
will
like
be-
it's more like that.
I think it's worth noting as well that Shinji Nojima, as a screenwriter, predominantly has worked with film as opposed to animation.
Okay.
So the 101 Proposals, the 101st Proposal, Kibiwa Boku Osukanaro, Hero Interview, Suki, High School Teacher. He's got like quite a big back catalogue, but it's all been in that drama-filled,
I mean, that would explain
multiple characterization
That would explain the
stories.
whole lot of symbolism. You get
Yeah.
filmmakers; they're very artsy.
I feel like maybe also O Maidens in Your Savage Seasons.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So like that, but it's more
Look, if it's-
everything's a metaphor.
Well, if everything's like that and the egg is maybe just to talk, maybe it could be a story about puberty.
Yeah, that's what
because
I'm feeling.
She's
Well,
14
that's
years
it.
old.
That's why
Yeah.
that's why I thought O
Egg.
Maidens. I feel like
Yeah.
it's going to be like a puberty kind of coming of age story, or like finding yourself, or like finding confidence in yourself.
Because like if that egg was like something that gave them magical powers, we'd have another genre.
Yeah, and
we
like
don't.
they're purposely being elusive about what the plot is
I
going to
think
be,
you're
and they're
definitely
keeping
onto
that on
something.
purpose. Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that one.
I definitely agree. So we'll have to see how it pans out.
Yeah, I'm
but
really
either
excited.
way, I think that's going to be great. Like,
And if it turns out to be wild and weird, we could just make egg jokes the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine too.
excellent.
The main character's name is Benedict.
Oh, he's got a friend called Salmon.
I was going to say a friend called Florentine, but okay, nice.
Oh, no, that's the villain.
It's too fancy. It's the fancy version of
They're
Benedict.
gonna get poached.
Alrighty.
Okay, look, I want to talk about other things. So moving on from, I should have not said egg puns.
right
sense of
along.
humour is a bit
Okay,
scrambled.
we'll be right back after this. We're going to have to go and throw Kenny out of the building.
Kawaii-Fi Radio. That's a lot of anime.
Oh god, there's so many. Winter anime.
Alrighty. These we are not going to do too deeply, but there are some that we must talk about because they didn't make the list, but they're amazing.
Yeah, this is kind of a lightning round kind of thing.
This is a lightning round. So we're going to start with Loz. Tell us what's 243 volleyball.
A new high school volleyball team. It is not Haikyuu. It might be similar, but it's not. Yeah.
Is this a volleyball club that's about to close unless they get one more
Look.
member?
I haven't seen it yet, actually, but I have read a lot about it on Twitter, read some reviews. It looks pretty good. Like, it looks kind of standard, but yeah, it's pretty rough to be chasing Haikyuu, particularly how close.
Yeah.
Like, Haikyuu just finished season 3, season 3 part 2, and so yeah, pretty weird to be putting that now, but good luck to them, I guess. I'm also excited for Dr. Ramen or Ramune.
I think it's Dr. Ramune.
Ramune.
This looks interesting, a bit spooky.
I'm excited because it kind of looks like Senku,
Yeah.
but he's like a doctor for curing like mysterious disease, like supernatural, like yokai mysterious diseases.
Trippy.
It looks really good.
So yeah,
That could be worth a watch.
I'm kind of feeling like a Holic vibe, but also Dr. Stone Senku.
Now, this was actually delayed. So this was meant to be last season or the season before. I can't remember which. I can't remember if it was a 3 or 6 month delay. But this does look really good, and it's got quite a big heritage as far as the manga goes. There's a lot of followers for it. A lot of people got excited. It's not going to be like My Hero Academia big, Jujutsu Kaisen big, but it will. I think this
it'll
will
get
have
cult
like
following.
a good sort of cult core
Yeah.
following.
I reckon so, yeah.
You know what's not gonna? Kenny and I want to talk about this.
Okay, now I've got to talk. I've got to put a disclosure here first.
TM.
We don't normally preemptively declare the winner of an award, but I think we almost can.
Oh.
So this is, for starters, this is this season's Crunchyroll original, so you would expect the caliber to be at least somewhat okay.
Last year's was God of High School.
Yeah.
And it was great.
I mean, admittedly, we had
And-
Tower of God, which wasn't as amazing as far as the visuals go, but it was still an interesting story.
It was still fascinating to look at.
This could already be our bad CG contender of the year.
This
Yes.
is the Arifureta of this
This
season.
is
Yeah.
this is called X-Arm. I can't actually read all of my notes for this. I have a whole page of notes, and it's all just swear words.
It's just screaming,
I was-
basically, yeah.
I
Please
was
watch the
genuinely offended when I watched the
It
trailer.
looks like a bad PlayStation 2 game. And even then, I've played PlayStation 2 games that flow better and have better fight scenes and better animation. And it's like, you know what? Not even. Let's get PlayStation 1.
I loaded up 3 different screens, my phone, my laptop, and my main computer, to look at 3 different things. I looked at X-Arm, Appleseed from 2011, and the first episode of the series Ruby.
Oh, yeah.
And I sort of compared them. I think I have figured out why this one looks just so absolutely wrong. But it was just comparing graphics from 10 years ago, which look utterly superior to this in every conceivable way.
They've used CG poorly because it doesn't interact with the world.
Oh,
it's so odd. Like, Appleseed was
all
full CG.
and it can't interact with itself.
It's so weird. Like, the limbs don't work the way limbs should. Like, the people can't jump properly and they can't make proper facial reactions. Like, just watch the PV.
There's
It's
no
wild.
sense of gravity or impact. Like, I mean, you look at, what was it, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Yeah, there's no sense of gravity in that either, but that's because they
That
are...
looks
That's
stunning.
fantastic.
That
though.
looks stunning.
Yeah.
It's like gravity has no meaning for the term because they're superpowered. Gravity has no meaning in this because there is no gravity. It just looks like someone playing with their dolls.
It looks like a bad video game.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm sure
it's going to be bad.
I'm sure we will rip it to shreds later. Now, let's talk about something that does look hilarious, but none of us could actually get on.
I watched the first episode already.
Yeah, Heaven's Design Team.
I'm really, really sad because I love my 2 skate shows, and I would love to talk about this too, but we can only, talk about so much. But I watched the first episode of Heaven's Design Team, and it's so good. It's basically a bunch of angels that work in like a team to create the animals for God, and then God will just pop down and be like, I approve your weird giraffe creation. And it's really, really funny. Like, I don't want to talk about too much.
What's
just go
the
watch
first creature?
The first one to talk is a giraffe.
Oh.
Like, that's it's kind of like you're dropped halfway into, they've already made a bunch of animals. Like, this guy made birds, and this person keeps wanting to make a Pegasus, but I keep telling you, we can't make the horse fly. I told you before, it's not going to work.
It's just, I feel like I've had this conversation with friends dozens of times. It's like, okay, what went into the design of this creature? What the hell happened to make the platypus?
That's exactly it. It's so good, and it also like has a little interjection of like, this actually is how these animals work in the real world, and they'll show you like pictures of giraffes.
So it does
and this
like
is
an
how
educate.
It does an educate so good.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
I think the only downfall maybe that this might have is it might get old, like it like because it's just going to be maybe the same thing over and over again. But we'll see. Like something might happen, and there might be a big plot change.
Yeah,
We'll
because
see.
we see that with Kaguya-sama Love is War. It's the same joke, but
they evolve it because the
Exactly.
characters evolve.
So this needs to evolve. But all the characters are really interesting, funny, they're diverse, they've all got their different quirks, things that they like. This person only likes cute animals, this person only makes horses and horse adjacents. Yeah,
That
it's really,
explains
really
things.
good.
Okay,
It's very funny.
well, now this next one we need to talk about. It's called Maiko-san. This is to do with how to explain it? This is basically a story about a girl who works in a geisha building
Oh, yes.
in Kyoto in the 1600s.
Maiko being the geisha in training.
Yeah,
Yes.
but this is not a drama. It is a slice of life. And she is the cook for all the geishas. Now, this actually won the Manga Taisho Award last year. Was it last year or the year before?
Last
Thought
year.
it won
Last year.
Didn't it win it twice?
I think it might have. It's won the Manga Taisho Award once because you can only win that once,
Okay.
and there's another award which is won twice.
Okay, so it's won.
which-
It's won something else.
The art
Yeah.
for it is already pretty stunning. I
It's
can say
won
this.
But
awards.
here's the
basically.
thing: it doesn't come out till February.
Yeah.
Oh.
They haven't confirmed who the studio is either.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, it says TBC, and I'm sitting there going, "Is there a studio called TBC?" Can't find anything.
Or,
So I
or
need
is
to
it
check
being
that.
bidded on, do you
Or
suppose?
delayed.
Or delayed. It does. This definitely looks like, considering it's coming out in February and the art style, I suspect this will be an Amazon or Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's very. Look, it would do well on those platforms where it might not be able to stand up against the other shows we've got this season.
It's like very like soft and like slice of life of what happens to these geisha and how it interacts.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
I'm really interested.
So it looks really good, but that's hopefully coming soon. We still don't know what the go is.
When I was researching for this episode and stuff like that, there's a YouTuber called Kimono Mum, and she actually did a speech about being a geisha mako before becoming a housewife.
Wow.
I'll send Carl the link. It is a fantastic, because you actually get to know how she was before and now, and it just ties in really well. And I'm really now curious to watch this anime because
Yeah.
I'd love to know
If there
more
was
about
going to be
that.
sort of like overlap in experiences.
Because my understanding is the guy who wrote the manga, the lady who wrote the manga did a lot of research into the actual culture
That's
during that
wonderful.
time.
You'd hope so.
To make sure it was represented well.
Oh, that's really nice.
So look, it's definitely going to be one to watch for. Now, other side picnic.
I'm really keen.
All I've got is Blondie's got a gun.
This looks like a potential dumpster fire, and
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna dive right into it. So Otherworld Picnic, it is listed and tagged as a Yuri show, and when you watch the first episode /PV, you can see that they are definitely the two main
I did
girls.
not realise
are
that.
definitely. They're definitely a thing, or at least they're going to be. And as opposed to a lot
Hand-holding.
of shows, they hold hands.
Oh,
Oh my!
oh, no.
Oh gee
Sorted.
whiz! Yeah, so that's really exciting that we actually have a Yuri show that isn't just let's say something like Citrus that is problematic and has a complicated relationship, whereas this actually looks like an action show predominantly.
Now, here's the thing about this one, which I found really strange. I'm almost positive I saw the poster art for this 1 or 2 years ago.
It does
ages
look
I
familiar.
do feel that too.
Yeah. I know that it has got either a manga or a light novel it's based on, and that might be what they've taken the inspiration for the poster.
Like
But
maybe it was delayed or something. I don't know. But
I was having a look at this because initially I was like, Other Side Picnic, that doesn't sound very action orientated or anything like that. And then I had a look at it. It's pretty much to the wall like that.
He's got a gun.
But basically, the plot is that our main girl is on the verge of death or about to die. So sort of a little bit Gantsy in the fact that she then gets pulled into another realm and rescued by the blonde girl. And then that's where the story begins.
You have saved my life. I am eternally grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw like a few seconds of the like start of it, and it looks like the Glasses Girl is being attacked by some weird transparent giant ghost
Yeah, it
thing.
looks
It's
like
just
they're
So maybe that's
moving
something
between
from
realities.
the other side.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in this. I'm always interested in a Yuri or BL show that's actually listed as that.
represents it,
Yeah,
yeah.
properly represented. So I'll be watching this anyway. But
correct amount of hand
at the same time, the main protagonist does have, as Kenny said, selective heterochromia, so 2 different colored eyes, but only one of them is one color at one time, and then she's got a flame in her eye, like Suna from Hit Round
Yeah, I
Reborn.
think it's sort of like
So she looks like a pretty cookie cutter protagonist.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon she's going to have an ability which changes her eye
that
color.
only
and
she
yeah.
has. And,
Oh,
yeah,
of course.
But, you know.
So when she's on the other side, her eye turns pink, and that's it.
We'll see.
Then she's got to, get it cleaned for the next
Oh,
3
it
weeks.
turns blue actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
blue.
Again,
okay.
blue flame. Anyway, so
Alright.
it looks very tropey, but I'm keen.
Okay, now, so I'm a spider, so what?
Oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, I reckon as a spider you could do.
I
pretty
have a
well.
lot of problems with so what.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of. So I'm a spider? What? No way.
Okay.
8 legs.
So this is, I've been reading the manga for this, but the manga and light novels are drastically different in story. The manga focuses almost exclusively on the spider elements. The light novel focuses on everything, so the other people. Basically, an entire class is isekai'd, and depending on their pecking order in the class, depended on what person or creature they were reincarnated as.
Curious.
So my understanding from the story is that the girl who is at the top of the class is almost being turned into a god. And this girl, who's the main character of So I'm a Spider, was at the bottom of the pecking order and becomes a spider. However, she's become a monster spider, not just a spider. And she can evolve by, leveling up a
Like
certain amount.
Rimuru from Slime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I heard about this around the same time as
Slime.
the slime one.
Reincarnated as a slime.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did I forget the title of that?
That's okay.
But yeah,
It's very generic.
I feel like this one has been a long time coming, but that it couldn't come out at the same time as Slime.
Well, yeah, this
Well, it
was
is, season 2.
Well, it's coming out at the same time as season 2 of it, but the initial teaser trailer for this had some pretty shocking CG.
Yeah.
And that came out at the same time as season 1 of Reincarnated as a Slime. So they obviously went, well, we'll put this on the back burner. And they've selected a date.
That was a few years ago, though.
And Slime
And
Anime
Slime
crashes
season
through the
2
door and
crashes through the
says,
door.
"Hi, I'm sorry. Were you planning on being the isekai of the season? I'm here."
Never fear, I am here. So look, I'm really interested to see how they handle this, and also how well they use the CG, because that's going to be a big deciding factor on whether this sinks or floats.
Yep.
Because if the CG is as bad as that first trailer, it's not going to do well.
Yeah, this one's for you guys. I'm passing on this one.
Yeah, you don't like spiders, do you?
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. I know it's a cute spider, and I have looked at the spider, and I wasn't freaking out, but I'm still.
Still not too cool.
We'll see. I just don't care about isekai.
I actually got over my anarachnophobia pretty recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, someone showed me a video of something called a whip scorpion.
Oh, great.
It's a spider with little hands.
There's like little hand dances.
I'm no longer afraid of spiders, but
They do.
scorpions.
It was so
I have a
cute. I
higher
was just like,
scale.
oh.
All right, now let's jump across to the sequels we need to mention as well. So this I think we can cover pretty quickly. Beastars Season 2, that's only in Japan until July. The whole thing lands on Netflix.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that July.
Yep.
Oh, here's the thing about that, though. Do you suppose they're going to get a good opening for it that tops the first
Didn't
one?
they release the opening recently?
They released the opening recently.
Is it good?
It's good, but I don't think it
it's not as
tops
good as the
Ali's
top one.
first one.
I mean, the first
Damn.
one was so good.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. Cells at Work Season 2 is coming, and Cells at Work Black.
Which I'm so hyped for.
Now-
Very interesting.
Couple of odd points here.
Yes.
Cells at Work Season 2, once again being done by David Productions.
JoJo people.
Cells at Work Black being done by Lidden Films.
What? Wow. I wonder
Yeah.
why.
Cells at Work, comedy. Cells at Work Black,
Serious.
drama.
Well, the manga for Cells at Work Black is hardcore. Like
It
they
is.
do like smoking and what happens to your body with an STI and like things like this. Like it's also like role reversed. The red blood cell is a boy and the white blood cell is a girl. It's very cute.
I have to wonder if there's sort of like a government department, like a health department in Japan, is just like, okay, we need to get people to stop smoking and live healthy. How can we do this? Let's make an anime. Not good enough. Let's make 2 different animes showing healthy body versus hellishly bad body.
Okay, the smoking thing in Japan is very serious because I went there twice and they have literally sections for people to go and stand and smoke, and it's like 100 people in every hour standing there.
It's pretty bad.
And in hotels, they have actual standing rooms in the hotel floors.
So you reckon there might be some legitimacy to my idea then?
Yeah,
it's known as a medical problem in Japan because there is that high amount of people doing it.
It's so cheap to get stuff like that there.
Yeah. All right, Log Horizon 3, 5 years after season 2.
Yeah, been a while.
I don't know if it's going to be good. We'll see what the actual fan base say. ReZero 2 Part 2. Here comes the hurt.
I still haven't watched Part 1. I haven't done. I need to go through and watch all of Part 1.
I need to be in the right state of mind to put myself through that psychological trauma.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I loved ReZero and I hate Isekai. I really enjoyed ReZero season 1, so I'm really excited to delve into Part 2 properly.
Only the first half, though.
Yeah, it's
Only
valid.
the first half.
That's valid.
And then, of course, Reincarnated as a Slime season 2.
Yeah,
bring it on.
My boy / girl Rimuru back again.
Now, let's cover off a quick few usual suspects that we like to talk about. So, Black Clover has now hit 159 episodes.
How?
I just want to talk about Black Clover real quick, because as the only person who watches Black Clover, okay, everyone is so hype for this upcoming season, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to catch up, because apparently it's like the best arc so far, and everyone's really excited about it. Yeah, any Twitter's going off, so
that's fair.
I was going to say, and that OP from which we talked about last season.
Yeah, so Black Clover's really been getting up there in the last 100 episodes.
Boruto, episode 181.
Now that I can't believe.
Now, apparently, same thing. This next arc that they're planning is apparently like
pretty high stakes.
Apparently, pain versus the village big.
Ooh.
Have they gone through a time skip yet?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But also, I haven't watched Boruto.
Well, they did go back in time.
Yeah,
no, but the actual series itself, because the movies they did.
This is set like ages after like Naruto.
No. That, I know that.
But but during it, so like between Naruto and Shippuden.
Are the kids older?
Oh, right.
Because that's what they did with the original series.
The first episode of Boruto, you see Boruto as an older kid fighting the guy. I don't know. I'll have to check with my friends who watch the Shonen Jump.
Because I've fallen off the Boruto. Oh, you can't even say it. But, I fell off that train about 60 episodes in. Yeah. And because I want to get back into it when they actually do the time skip.
I mean, apparently now's a good time.
Yeah.
Detective Conan, 993.
It's so close.
It is going to hit 1,000 this season.
And so is One Piece in the manga.
Well, One Piece, 957 episodes.
Crikey.
They've announced the end date of the manga.
Really?
They have.
So we will cover that when it actually comes up.
So they're about to do 1,000, chapter 1,000, and
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Shall we do a session where we sit down and watch the entire series?
Do you have a bunker?
I do.
Someone's done it though. Someone's actually sat and watched.
I want to know
I think it ends up being about 10 days straight.
10 days.
It's
That actually doesn't seem as bad as I thought it would be.
It's not. It's like watching The Simpsons.
I think you know what? I think I'm underestimating that. I'm going to do a bit of math.
Let's do a math.
So we got
someone told me
957 episodes.
Yeah.
And if we multiply that by 23 minutes, that is 22,000 minutes. Divide that by 60. That is 366.85 hours. And you divide that by 24 hours in a day. That ends up with 15 days
16.
straight.
Let's say 16
Just
days.
watch 1 or 2 a day, and then you can get through in a year. There you go, guys.
Easy.
3, 4 a day.
You could do it. It's
Right.
not,
Look, you could do it.
You could do it
But
easily.
that's a lot. That's
like 10 on weekends?
Like, look,
Just watch it at 10 times speed.
do like a binge of 10 episodes.
If it's 15 days,
Yeah.
and we then, you really, realistically, you can't do that. So you'd have to
you
divide
would
that by
die.
4.
You'd die.
So you're basically looking at a month. And that'd be chucking in
I feel
12
I'd
hours a
learn
day.
Japanese so quick though if I did that.
Man, we might have to do sort of like a video blog or something.
No one is doing this. This
No.
is a terrible idea.
None of us are One Piece watchers, so therefore we probably won't be doing
I
this.
tried. It's very hard to be a One Piece watcher.
You
I'll
got to
give
be
it-
dedicated.
You got to be dedicated.
And I think you have to be there from the start as well.
See,
or,
I
like,
tried
early
that.
on.
I tried that because Netflix released it from the very beginning with the dub and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I thought, let's give it a go.
No,
But
as in like
as
I think
in
you
the
need to be a
original dub?
fan from when you were
yeah.
like watching
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
as
yeah,
kids
true.
or from
Wait.
when you started when.
Wait,
like,
are you talking
first
about
came
the
out.
original like 4Kids
No, I
dub?
wish it was a 4Kids
they,
one.
they
then.
redubbed it for Netflix.
Wish.
Good.
It was bad.
Oh, we might have to do the whole
Okay.
thing on that.
Well, we will cover that off when it comes up. Now, we have one last important thing to cover off before we let you get back to your normal life.
Uh-huh.
The movies that are coming out this quarter. So, quite simply, from the top, Earwig and the Witch, the new Studio Ghibli film.
This is
CG.
Miyazaki's son, I believe.
Yes, Goro's doing it. It's an adaptation of an English
I
storybook.
wonder if he'll please his dad this time.
No.
Miyazaki hated Tales of Earthsea.
He did.
I mean, I
So-
read the original book.
Do we know what
so-
it's based off?
Yeah, it's based off a book from a British author. It's the lady who wrote Howl's Moving Castle, I believe.
So same vibe as
Yeah,
House of
I
Castle.
could be wrong, but I believe I remember reading that somewhere.
I don't know.
I've already
but
seen the trailer, and it's a CGI movie, kind of almost Pixar-ish.
It looks like
Yeah.
Dragon
Oh.
Quest CG actually, like the Dragon Quest movies.
like
Yeah, a
CGI.
little
something
bit.
between Pixar and Miyazaki.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, dear.
So look,
fascinating.
it's a magical story, PG-13. It runs for an hour and 20 minutes, hour
Okay.
22. It's out in Japan now. We're getting it first quarter. We're meant to be getting it this month.
That's pretty soon.
Okay.
So if you're in the US, that might be February, I believe, last
Yeah.
check. But obviously it depends on what happens with the situation over there. The story is pretty straightforward. Growing up in an orphanage, Earwig has no idea that her mother had magical powers. Her life will take a new turn when a strange family takes her in and she is forced to live with a selfish witch. She then starts causing problems for the witch.
This is a problem because it sounds very similar to Mary and the Witch's
Doesn't
Flower.
it?
And I just wish that they chose to do something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so
Yeah.
many stories in the world. Why are you doing this again? Anyway, speaking of so many stories in the world,
Oh,
why are you doing this again?
Oh, well, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, thrice upon a time.
Times 6 to the power of 10.
But it's the fourth movie.
It's the fourth
It's
film.
not-
It's a different story by Studio Kara. The fourth and final movie of the Evangelion
Thank
rebuild
goodness.
movie series, January 22nd.
I
it
am
lands.
interested to see how they're going to finish Evangelion because obviously there's the original series that finished weirdly, and then there's the end of Evangelion finished weirdly. How are they going to finish this one, guys?
Weirdly.
Well, this one is real. That third film really put Gendo in the spotlight as the big
Absolutely.
villain. I think it's all going to be about Shinji killing his dad.
With Mum. And
With
Mum's
Mum.
You
there,
think so?
kinda.
Mum's kind of
Mum's
not there
kinda
anymore.
there.
You reckon
No.
Gendo's going to get his own Eva?
Well, we've seen what looks like in the trailer in a Unit 1 fighting a Unit 1.
Ooh,
So
double Mum.
I don't.
Okay, this is super spoilers for
Wait,
people
so
who don't not seen
Shinji has two
Evangelion.
mums?
I mean,
So-
I'm my own grandpa.
Yeah, so action drama, mecha, psychological sci-fi. Runtime is clocked in at 2 hours.
Awesome.
R18. Studio Kara's already confirmed the dub is in production. We'll be getting that hopefully sometime this year.
it'll be polarizing for
It
sure.
will be.
Whatever it ends
It
up
will
being.
be. We've got to do this one for Aaron. Fate Granddaughter, the movie Divine Realm of the Round Table Camelot, Part 1, Wandering Agatara.
Why do they
Times
keep
2
doing
to the
this?
power of 10 multiplied by 6.
Why are there so many words in the title?
Because that's just the way that they do.
It's fate. What do you expect?
Now I played Fate Granddaughter, so I'm interested to see
Wait,
where
fake
this
granddaughter
actually...
of the what?
Oh, shush.
Um,
Just Fate
Well,
Granddaughter.
It gets better because the summary is an adaptation of the sixth singularity, the
Oh, okay.
sacred round table realm Camelot
Ooh,
singularity
I know what
of
that
Fate
is.
Granddaughter.
I can actually pinpoint where I am in the Fate verse.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah. Okay.
So a singularity is
impossible.
like the actual stories are
yeah.
self-contained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. I feel so impressed with myself. I'm like,
You're like,
I
I did
understand
good.
the fate.
All right.
Fascinated,
Well-
but
The
only
skeptical.
one.
It's released in Japan. First quarter expected release over here. This is once again a trilogy of films. We're not sure the spacing between them yet. So, but it could be annual.
Annual, definitely.
Yeah, with the way production is
How
going.
many words do you suppose the next film is going to start with?
Oh, it'll probably have an extra one.
I like how it's got wandering. What is that? Agaternum?
Agatarum.
Just after the whole, they could have just left it with Fate
Wandering
Granddaughter for the movie Divine Realm of the
semicolon.
Round Table Camelot
Yeah.
Part 1, but they had to add 2 extra words.
Oh, you don't want to see the full Japanese name.
Yikes.
It's even longer.
Oh,
What?
boy.
Yeah.
now
We're not
I
going
want
there.
to see the full Japanese.
Well, you can do that in your spare time.
On it.
We are going to now talk about Gintama, the final film.
Yeah,
Wow.
inverted commas.
Now,
Yeah.
this is meant to be the final Gintama with the creator joking that it's for real this time, guys.
I don't
That is an
believe
exact
you.
quote.
I think-
there is now a OVA series attached to it as a prequel for it called the
Knew it.
Semi-Final.
I think
Stop, stop.
I think the Gintama series has had as many retirements as Miyazaki.
Yeah,
Oh, so true.
that comes out. That's out now. Actually, January 7 it landed. Unconfirmed international release date, but it is expected to get one, as all the other Gintama films have. PG, an hour 44 runtime. We'll see if that actually does end up being the last one of those films. And now, Farah, you and I were talking about this earlier.
Oh, yes, we were.
This is kind of make or break for
I'm
Sailor Moon.
excited,
So
yeah.
Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie, part 1 and 2. Demons, magic, romance shoujo. It's Sailor Moon. This film covers the Dead Moon arc of the original manga, and this continues on from the Sailor Moon Crystal reboot series.
It is.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, Crystal kind of fell flat for a lot of fans. We talked about this. It was pretty much a straight adaptation to the manga, which I love the manga, but it should never be an anime straight. No. It needs a little bit more of a flow like the 90s did, and that's what made it
It
unique.
needs a bit of treatment, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely doesn't need the four kids dub treatment, but
It's all that road. But look, as a big Sailor Moon fan growing up, this is my cup of tea when I heard that it was going to be Crystal. And then, I thought, oh, wow, Crystal's so good, But when you watch it back again, it's actually really bad.
so good
That's a real
singular
shame.
watch, but bad rewatch.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
it get better? Because I watched it
would
when it
think
first came out.
Season 3 was marginally good.
It was marginally good.
because they introduced Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And this is about the
Saturn.
circus ones.
Now, this actually from the 90s one was probably my favorite.
yeah, this is like
arc.
Super Moon Stars or something. Sailor Moon Stars.
No. So this is the Dead Moon Circus. This is
Oh, okay.
when Pegasus is introduced into
Oh my god.
Helios.
Pegasus and like the circus kids with their
Yeah.
cool funky
So this
hair.
is exciting as anything.
So hopefully they
and
do a
this
good
is a
job.
very strong focus on Chibiusa.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we actually see a lot more Chibiusa as opposed to the girls in the 90s. So now I'm really curious to see how it melds together. Now, obviously, it's a 2-movie thing. So you're going to have a Dead Moon Circus, I'm pretty sure, as movie 1. Now that you said that there's another movie as well,
Yeah, it's in 2 parts.
100% guaranteed it's going to be on the first half of Sailor Stars from the 90s.
That would be cool.
Because Nehelenia, which is the
Big cool queen,
the Dark Queen,
the evil one.
she's actually in both the Dead Moon Circus and Sailor Moon Stars, the first
Oh,
part.
okay.
So that makes sense to me in that they would
So
do
it
the
might
2.
interconnect those
or
stories.
they'll flesh it out and just have the 2 movies worth of Dead Moon Circus. Also
Yeah,
possible.
no.
Yeah,
It'll
we'll
be-
see.
it'll-
Hopefully not.
It'll be
Hopefully
Dead Moon
not.
Circus, and then it'll be when they introduce the other outer century and stuff like that.
Now there are other anime films coming up, but we have no release dates on half of them. We are
Demon
meant.
Slayer?
Pardon?
Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer, we do know we've got this quarter. It's already out in Japan. It is destroying the box office, as we
By
mentioned in the
millions.
news.
By
Oh,
millions
it
and
is-
millions.
Well,
Right up.
as I mentioned in the news, it is now the second highest rated Japanese film internationally of all time. It surpassed
Spirited Away.
And all that. So it's it's done exceptionally well.
It's amazing.
Because Madman just announced that it's going to be released here soon, yeah.
Yes, we've got that. We've got Earwig, and I believe the Given film is due March-ish.
Look, I've been told this before and I've been let down before,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
That's why I haven't included it, because I think that date is still,
Yeah.
We're not too sure with the Sailor Moon movie as well if it's going to
Yeah.
be a Netflix release, because that's the big rumor going around at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean that's Studio Jin Toei, so you'd hope that they'd look at it. But January 7 is part 1, February 10 is part 2.
Perfect,
So
I'm ready.
quite close together. So hopefully we'll get both of them later on down the track, and that's it.
Wow.
We've
That's
covered
all
it.
of the things.
We're still almost at 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. well.
All right. Oh well, who knew this would happen? We'll be right back, and we'll be right back after this. After we're right back after this, right back.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I think I found that alternative title. It says Serenity's Bizarre Adventure. I think I found the wrong one.
You did find the wrong one. All right. Well, that is, as I mentioned, where we need to leave it for this episode. This episode, leave it where we do. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Next
Dr. Seuss.
episode is something a bit special. Hopefully it works. we are doing our first ever Kawaii-Fi live show at Hoshicon.
Yay.
Now, as Kenny has said from his grave, how dare you?
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
It will
You'll
be.
fine.
And there's 5 of us on the stage, and then we're going to drag audience members up to try and guess like the Mal rating of shows.
What can we say? Misery loves company.
Exactly. So look, Hoshicon, this will mean that the episode will be out a little bit delayed. But all of us are going to be doing something special at Hoshi. Farah, you've got stuff on at Hoshi too.
Yeah, I'm actually hosting a panel on the Sunday as well with Idol. So if you are going to Hoshicon, please come check me out. We'll announce the details on the Twitter and stuff when our panels are and stuff like that.
You'll see me and Kenny running around like headless chooks sorting out the audio. You'll see Loz running around looking after all of the volunteers.
I'll be with Loz
And
too.
you'll see Aaron running around yelling, "I am here!" in his All Might cosplay, by the sounds of it.
Looks pretty good.
We've got t-shirts, we've got banners,
Yeah,
we've
we
got
made Kawaii-Fi
stickers,
merch.
we got
We'll
merch.
see if we can
We're
live
almost
stream it. We're going to have a little look here. We might try and live stream a little bit of the panels.
And if not, there will be pictures.
Yeah, or videos.
And of course the audio.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
But pictures of Spider-Man. We'll try and get that Hoshicon creator Jasmine as well in for a chat next week for our Kawaii-Fi Extra. So stay tuned for that. And, keep listening to us because we do things that you do. I don't know where I'm going. Farah,
Well, if you
Loz.
like those things that we do and you've gotten this far and somehow you're still here, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you can get us coming to you when we come out. It also really helps our channel as well, so make sure you subscribe to us for alerts about our future episodes.
And if you want to join our community, you know what? We've got a Facebook, an Instagram, and a Twitter page.
We do.
We post breaking news when it happens, videos, previews for upcoming episodes as well.
And memes. Many, many spicy, delicious anime memes.
Yes, very spicy memes. And you've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us and bearing with my illiteracy. And until next time,
What's some anime?